What's up everybody, Trinity here, and welcome back to the 2nd Street Marvel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about this kind of rumor about Black Widow that has been going around out there here over this past weekend. We heard that Kelly Thompson was going to be having some announcement to make here on Monday, and lo and behold here we got a story dropping by IGN, as well as a trailer dropped on Marvel Entertainment's YouTube channel where you can go and check that out. I'll make sure I leave links down in the description here where you can go watch that trailer that they had just dropped. And in the comment section I will leave a link to this article by IGN. Now what this was is like I said, over the weekend it was said that Kelly Thompson had an announcement to make for something new, getting ready to come up with a collaboration with Marvel Comics. She has been writing for Marvel Comics for quite a few years now. I take it, I'm not really familiar with all of her work, but she has been writing the current version of Captain Marvel, the current series going on of Captain Marvel, and she's actually writing what was the other one that just came out, Deadpool, as of this moment. But here's what it is we've got and you guys know I don't really like reading articles to you guys. I find it a little bit insulting, but I'm going to read some of this article, not all of it. But here we got this is on IGN.com. It says best-selling Eisner nominated writer Kelly Thompson of Captain Marvel and Deadpool and rising star Elena Casagrande of Catwoman launch a new Black Widow series that changes everything. Natasha Romanoff has been a spy almost as long as she's been alive, and she's never stopped running, whether she was working for the good guys or the bad. But Natasha's world is about to be upended. Beyond San Francisco's Golden Gate lies a mystery that only the Marvel Universe's greatest spy can solve. Don't miss the heartbreaking thrill ride of 2020. Now guys, I'm not really for sure who Elena Casagrande is. Apparently she's been doing, she's a newer artist doing the art on a Catwoman series for DC, and she's coming over to Marvel to do this series as well along. And you guys know, like, Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow, has become one of my favorite characters in the Marvel Universe lately. I've really enjoyed, I recently read this one, this Marvel Tales. This came out last year. This is kind of an anthology series talking a lot about Black Widow. I recently did my review on Black Widow Prelude comic, which I think for the MCU reveals quite a few things here for this movie getting ready to come out, and you guys can go check out that video. I'll leave it linked here as well. Now the other thing I wanted to talk about was, recently Black Widow No Restraints Play has become my favorite comic book of last year. This was my #1. If you didn't watch my top 10 comic books of last year, this was at the very top. This is kind of what made me really love the Black Widow character, just in the comic books and even in the MCU. I mean, kind of always liked her in the MCU, I guess. But this was written by Jen and Sylvia Soska. I'm actually wearing a Soska sister shirt right now. But this book was really excellent. I like the content of this book. It's placed in with a real world scenario, things that have been going on in our real world with like Jeffrey Epstein and things like that. This is a very excellent book. I think anybody out there who is a fan of Black Widow or just wants to read a great comic book story that's not quite so superhero, but has to do with the real world, this is your book right here. It deals with human trafficking and just social media and some of the things going on out there in the world for real. And I think this is an excellent book. You guys should make sure that you go and check out. Definitely. I've been wanting to do a giveaway on this on this trade paperback. So you know what? I'm going to announce that here in this video right here. If you want to win a free copy of Black Widow No Restraints Play, make sure that you leave a comment in this video, and maybe we'll go ahead and do the giveaway for that. Say at the end, we'll do it on May 1st. We'll do the giveaway on May 1st after Black Widow premieres at the movie theaters, when we'll end that for a copy, a trade paperback of Black Widow No Restraints Play. I've been wanting to give away a copy of that for a while. And then recently, we got this other recent series. This was actually written by Jody Houser, who has done quite a bit of work for Marvel as well. This was The Web of Black Widow. It was a 5-issue miniseries that came out. Had some really, absolutely just some really great covers for it as well. As you can see there, I'll go ahead and show you all these great covers that were done by, I can't remember, Jung In Jun. I know I butchered the name here of the artist that did these, but just he came in and did some beautiful covers for this series. And I've actually even got a poster here on my back wall that you can see there of that as well. You can see that got that Black Widow poster there. So, like I said, I've really enjoyed the Natasha Romanoff character here in the Marvel Comics as of late, especially because of what the Soska sisters did with her in the No Restraints Play book. So, yeah, to get entered into that giveaway, you got to be subscribed to the channel and make sure you leave a comment in this video, and we'll do that giveaway on May 1st. So we're going to get back into this article here from IGN. And like I said, you guys know I don't really like reading articles to you guys, so I'm not going to read this entire article. But it says, while Natasha has remained active in the Marvel Universe in recent years, even following her apparent death in 2017's Secret Empire, it's been a while since she starred in an extended solo series. We were able to chat with Thompson via email to learn a little bit more about this book, and Thompson feels she's cracked the code for an ongoing Black Widow comic. Honestly, I think they had a great ongoing Black Widow comic that they could have done with the Soska sisters, but that's just me. Thompson told us, I think Black Widow is an incredibly rich character in that she works well in a lot of different genres, but that can also make her a little tricky. If you try to do too much with her instead of committing to a clear vision, I think you can run into trouble. I'm very interested in the duality of Natasha, so look for that to be a recurring theme in this first arc as she struggles against that and leans into it. While the Marvel Universe will be a very busy place in 2020 with the buildup of the Empire crossover, Thompson says Black Widow is designed to be an accessible standalone book. We have some high-profile guest stars, and of course some impressive villains, but this story has to stand on its own for a lot of reasons that will become clear immediately in issue 1, which starts off feeling like a classic Natasha story, and then quickly becomes quite unlike any story we've ever seen for her before. I kind of think that's what we got in the Black Widow No Restraints Play series, but that's just me. According to Thompson, that same theme of duality extends to the book's visual style. Thompson teases, something we never get to see with Natasha, a softer side, is maybe the best way to describe it. Elena is a super talent, but I think this is her strongest work to date. It's incredibly bold and confident, which is exactly what a Nat book demands. And Elena is the artist being brought on board to do this. Marvel is mostly keeping the plot of Black Widow under wraps for now, though they did indicate the first major story arc involves a group of villains forming an alliance with the shared goal of destroying Natasha Romanoff. However, Thompson says not to expect a story in the vein of Batman Nightfall or Spider-Man The Gauntlet, nor will the villains be traditional Black Widow antagonists. What I can say is that while a couple of them are the villains you might expect in a Black Widow story, there are some curveballs in there too. I can also tease that the villains have a very unique approach to trying to take Nat out, and as villains are wont to do, immediately. Ultimately, not all of them agree, and as villains are wont to. That must be a spelling error or something in there. The new series will draw at least some inspiration from the upcoming movie, as both Russian super soldier Red Guardian and Natasha's fellow Red Room recruit Yelena Belova will play a role in the book. Thompson admitted she was initially reluctant about including Red Guardian, but the combination of editor Sarah Brunstead and seeing David Harbour in costume changed her mind. Thompson said Red Guardian and Yelena were characters I was on the fence about using, in part because while the Red Room and all of Black Widow's history will be important, I was interested in moving away from that stuff. Not because I don't like it, but just because I feel we've already seen it before. But I found a way that really made sense to include Red Guardian and Yelena that excite me. So that felt the best of both worlds, especially when it comes to Yelena. I'm pumped about the development, and not just because I think actress Florence Pugh is incredible. While many Black Widow stories have dealt with Natasha's shadowy past and her often less than trustworthy memories, Thompson is adamant the new series will look forward, not back, as it chronicles the hero's journey. We've all seen it before a bunch of times in great stories and less great stories. I see no need to go there again. This story does play with memory and the very fabric of who Natasha is. But I think we're going to do it in a twisty new way that's going to be a real emotional and physical journey for her at the end of our first story arc. Expect to see her left in a very different state than where she began. Guys, I don't know about you. I mean, I've read some of Kelly Thompson's work in the past. I've been reading the current, Black or Captain Marvel series. I've even read, like the first issue of Deadpool. Again, I'm not largely impressed by her work. I don't think she's like the worst writer out there, but I gotta tell you guys, like, I've really taken to enjoying this character in the Marvel universe, and just hearing this news, I'm excited that she's getting an ongoing series. I am. I really do feel that she deserves one. I mean, we got Black Cat, who I think is deserving of her own series. That probably could have been a mini series as well. Just judging what I've read of Kelly Thompson's work, I'm not super excited for it because I have a feeling like this first arc might be good. The first 5 issues or so, she's introducing the character in the world, but largely if it's going to be like the Captain Marvel series has been, it's been largely not exciting, not anything that really hasn't been a very fun story or exciting. I always hold out hopes that something will be great. That a writer can go and do something great with these characters and tell us a good, interesting story. But if anything that I've read by Kelly Thompson in the form of just these few I've mentioned, I can't be overly excited about that. But I'm always willing to keep my mind open that these books will be good. That's what I ultimately do a lot of reviews here on my channel for, is to be excited for these books that are getting ready to come out, and these books and these stories that are happening. That's what I always want. I don't want any of them to be bad. Even when I see a series that's being written by a writer that I'm not excited about, I want it to be good. A great indication is one that I've been reading here lately, and then I can show you guys, and I'll just talk about really quick here. Has been oh man, I've got all of them out here. Is The Amazing Mary Jane. Amazing Mary Jane has been written by Leah Williams, a writer I have critical about, but she's come in and done a great job writing the Amazing Mary Jane book. And I've got, she's 4 issues in right now. She's got these. She so far. Leah Williams has come in and done a great job writing this Amazing Mary Jane book, right? She's kept a lot of things that I've seen in some of her writing in the past out of it. There's no real personal politics in it or anything like that, and I know a lot of people feel differently about that. I'm not against politics being in comic books. I just believe the way that it's done has to be done in the right way, like as far as like things in the comic books, because I feel the comic books are an artistic medium, and that's kind of what the arts are for, is to express those opinions. But again, it's got to be done in a way that's not lazy. I don't want like some of the stuff I've seen out of Kelly Thompson, even in the Captain Marvel series, is we get some of that where she's tossing some of those, and I wouldn't say necessarily a feminist agenda, but tossing some of those feminist overtones in there. And that's what I don't want to see out of a Black Widow series. That's something I don't want to see out of this upcoming series. But I don't know. Like I said, I always hold out hopes that eventually we will get a good story. Just like I said right here with Leah Williams in writing this Amazing Mary Jane story arc. I was scared at first, just based off of the past work that Leah Williams has done. I wasn't looking forward to this. I read issue number 1 and I was like, I actually like this book. I actually liked issue number 1. Then we got 3 issues after that where Leah Williams has come in and done just a phenomenal job writing this particular title. Was it this character? Was it this title that done it for her? Or did she just, hear other criticisms of her writing out there and just improved it for this book? I honestly, it's hard to say, but I got to tell you, I wasn't liking Leah Williams' work, and then all of a sudden I read Amazing Mary Jane. She rounded that corner and started to bring in some good work. And I'm holding out the same hopes for Kelly Thompson with this Black Widow series, because I don't want to see her handled in a way that I don't enjoy or anything like that. But I don't know, guys. That's just some of the news I've seen coming across today. Like I said, I will leave a link to the video that Marvel did. They did a trailer for this series just earlier today here on Marvel Entertainment on YouTube, and they also did this. They've also got a spot on Marvel.com where you can go read this article, which actually links to this article on IGN, where you can go and read the full article there. This interview that they had with Kelly Thompson. But that's all I have for this video today, guys. Like I said, let me know down in the comments below, how do you feel about this news with Kelly Thompson coming in to write the Black Widow series? And how do you feel about Black Widow as a character? Let me know down in the comments. Like I said, make sure that you're subscribed and leave a comment in this video. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Trailer Park Live right here on the 2nd Street Marvel, where we're coming at you live every single Friday night at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you all so much for being here today. Now, I do have to apologize about one thing right off the top. Well, I had this video, it was rendering here on the thing. You know how I usually do my intros all cool and everything. You know, I have a nice produced video and all that stuff. Well, I was sitting here, it was going, and it was taking too long and taking too long and taking too long, and then I went over here, and man, I hopped on the thing, dude, and it just stopped doing it, and I was like, damn, man. They went seriously, it was a cool 20 minutes, man. That was supposed to be the intro here, because you guys know I usually start off talking about the comic books and everything that I pulled for the week, and we're gonna get right into that. But like I was saying, the reason I showed that video again, it was one that ran on Monday. You need to go back over there and watch that video where I just told you how to get entered into that giveaway. You got to go watch that video on Monday. You got to do what I said to get entered into the giveaway for a copy of Black Widow No Restraints play, written by Jen and Sylvia Saska. It's got art by Flaviano, colors by Veronica Gandini. It's lettered by VC's Clayton Cowles, and Clayton Crane does the covers on here. It's my favorite comic book of last year, so make sure you go watch that video, that same one that was just here on the intro. Go watch it, the video from Monday. I just told you how to get entered into it in that giveaway. The only thing is you got to be a resident of the United States, because shipping reasons and all that kinds of stuff, and that kind of stuff. But you got to be a U.S. resident. You got to be over 18 or over. Sorry, Senate. Oh, I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding. Maybe. But yeah, go watch the video. I just told you how to get entered into it. If you didn't hear, go back and watch the video and learn how to get entered into it again. Again, it's my favorite comic book of last year. That's Black Widow No Restraints play. This is a goddamn great book. Now, getting into some of the comic books that I had for that video was Folklords issue number 3 right here, guys. This series right here is a medieval tale that talks a lot about there's this kid, and they're basically graduating. It's like they're graduating high school pretty much, and they got to go in front of their peers and everybody else and say what their quest is going to be in life. And this kid, the night before, he was at a party saying that he wants to go seek out the Folklords, our main character here, and it's like a record scratch, and everybody's like, what the hell, dude? And well, anyway, when they went to the school the next day, to say what their quest was going to be, his friend went up there before him and said the exact same thing, and he got the same reaction. But the librarians, the overseers, the gatekeepers of the community and everything, their teachers there, if you will, basically they cut the ceremony short. And they said, oh, okay, enough of that. They dragged him off stage and they said, here's your quests. They gave everybody their quests instead of letting everybody choose their quests. It was the state having lockdown, and it's pretty cool. But it's like a medieval tale, and in issue number 2, they him and his friend, they went out, they took off, they snuck out of town and went to go on their quest anyway to find the Folklords. And what are the Folklords? Well, basically this kid, he has visions of the future and technology and all these different kinds of things, and he started making his own suits and everything. He's got little tailor-made suits and stuff, he's going to work out on Wall Street or something. Pretty crazy stuff. And then he ends up getting caught in this Hansel and Gretel tale here, him and his friend. Well, turns out his friend ditched him. Just some pretty cool stuff that you guys should probably definitely check out. That's on Boom Studios Comics. And the next one was Once and Future, issue number 6. This book is absolutely great. Written by Kieran Gillen. It's got art by Dan Moore that is absolutely just phenomenal. Look at that. Look at that. And the one thing that I've been, I wish, the video I could have showed you guys could have seen that video, is because I show in here, I don't think I can show you how good of a damn job that Tamara Bonneville does on the coloring on this book and do it justice like it was showing in my other video. But just look at that art, man. Look at the coloring in there. Look, that's the one thing I've heard a lot of people talking about this book, about Once and Future, but I haven't heard anybody giving Tamara Bonneville some damn high notes. Put your hands together for that, man. Look at that. Look at that. Just look. Come on. Come on, man. That's just beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful art, man. I don't know what else there is to say about that. Let's see. There's some other great ones, but basically what's going on in this story is Duncan and his grandmother are going out to basically they were trying to stop the resurrection of King Arthur here on the cover, but he got resurrected by the scabbard that they kept Excalibur in, I believe, and so they he ended up getting resurrected. So now they're out to kill him or stop him from taking over the world. And Duncan's been in a world of shit. Now this book, this was originally, I believe, supposed to be the end of the first story arc, and I think it was only supposed to be 6 issues in the first place, but it ended up becoming an ongoing series, and I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, I don't know. I think they should have just ended it at 6 or something, but then they would have had to end a little bit differently. I'm wondering if along the way, maybe they're optioning for more, so I don't know, man. I kind of feel like something happened here with this one. But this one is a very great series, and again, I just wanted to say, Tamara Bonvillain has been doing a great job doing the colors on this book. I've heard a lot of people talking about the great art in this book, about the writing, how much they like this book and everything like that, but I'm telling you, the colors the Tamara Bonvillain is doing in this book are just freaking amazing. Just amazing. The next one I got was Heist, issue number 3. This one right here, guys, it's on Vault Comics. You know, my favorite comic book publisher out there, small press publisher. Just great stuff that they do. But this book is kind of like, you know, I was watching Edwin the Comic Jabroni today, and he was doing a review of it, and I was sitting there like, I was trying to think of what it reminded me of, and it's called Heist or How to Steal a Planet, and this is issue number 3. And I was like, ooh, that's it. Okay, it's like Ocean's 11 meets Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's really cool. So basically, this guy Glane is trying to steal this planet, because what happened was he ended up getting put in prison because, you know, he ended up selling this planet, sold out this planet, more like it, to this corporation. Now this corporation owns this planet, and they've got pretty much got everybody enslaved, and well, you know, it's just not, it's not too good, you know what I'm saying? A nice dystopian type future, but you know, so basically he's putting together a team to go back and steal this planet back for the people, you know, from this evil corporation. I don't know, but it's a pretty funny book, and some of the situations in there are really good, and I like the art in it too. The art's pretty good in here. I'll show you some of it here. Just some good stuff in here. You can see some of the art in there. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, just here. Oh yeah, take a look at that panel right there. These guys they're all sneaking around trying to track down Glane, because, you know, everybody wants this guy dead, and it's funny because everybody wants him dead, but yet all these people have these face spoofers that make him look like Glane. So it's kind of crazy, and like people are getting all like murdered, all crazy over throughout the town and everything, just like pretty crazy stuff. God, where'd the other one? Oh yeah, right here. Here's another one. I see Marquise Roberts is here, and he's gonna really love this. Is Roku issue number 4 on Valiant Comics. Okay, guys, look at that cover, man. Is that not a beautiful cover? Look at that cover. That cover. That makes me want to buy this cover. You know what I'm saying? That makes me want to buy this, because that's just such a beautiful cover. And now this is the 4th and final issue, and basically what's happened is Roku, she's lost her memories and everything, so she don't really know who she is, and so she's an assassin for hire, and she's going out and, you know, doing different jobs for people, and she gets this job to go out and bring this little girl in by her employers, to get this little girl and bring her in. And meanwhile, a whole bunch of people are after this little girl, because this little girl, what they come to find out is this girl is basically like a supercomputer. Stuff gets streamed right to her. Like she gets satellite feeds, she gets news feeds, she gets just like internet feeds, you know, the dark web, just all that stuff streamed right to her. This girl knows everything about everything, because it's all fed right into her. She's like a walking computer. And so everybody's after this little girl, and here we see that her, and I can't remember the other girl that's in it, but she's like she's one of these assassins as well. That she's after this young girl to bring her in as well. But of course, you know, there's somebody else that wants her dead or alive, and he don't care. And that's the Minister of Blades, and he controls anything that's a blade-like object that can be used to stab and poke you, which includes Roku's hair at times. So, kind of weird stuff. But so here they finally come to their final confrontation, and do they save the girl? Do they not save the girl? I don't know. You might have to find out. I will say the art in this book is actually it's decent. It's not the best art in the world, but the thing that I got to say about this book is that it's only 4 issues, and this is one of those rare times I think they should have went for 5. think they should have went for 5 issues instead of 4, because it felt like through issue 3 and 4 the story felt too compressed and like it just jump. You know what I mean? So, because I know it's like there's a lot of comic books out there. Sometimes you read, like I was just talking about Once and Future. You get like a 5 issue series, and you're kind of like, it probably could have been 4, or you get one that's 6, and you're like, this definitely could have been 5. And Roku is one of those ones. It's four good issues. They should have done it for 5 to give it a little bit more time, and I think it would have been a perfect series. But it's written by Cullen Bunn. Really great book. Art by Ramon F. Sachs. I believe the colors are by Stefan Petro. Here so you can see those names right there. You can see some of the art in this book as well. Let's see. There they are with the little girl that they're trying to save, and the other robot girl chick that kicks butt. I don't know. It was all pretty good. But this book was pretty good. Like I said, I think it should have been 5 issues instead of 4 though, and I think this would have been a more well-rounded out series, definitely. Vampire State Building, another great one. I just got done reading. This is actually with the same artist that did the Walking Dead comic books. I'm not really into vampires or werewolves or anything, but this one is actually pretty cool. All these people are stuck. Imagine like I don't know, like a good vampire movie. Like imagine like 30 Days of Night and Die Hard mixed together, you know what I mean? All these vampires, they're stuck inside of this building. They're killing everybody, making everybody vampires to bring about their vampire god guy that got uncovered in a tomb when some people, this construction company was in there renovating the building. And, well, yeah, the guy who's renovating the building, the guy who's like he's the overseer of the building. I can't remember what they call him, but his daughter's actually stuck inside. So, yeah, pretty interesting story here. But this is issue number 4, Vampire State Building. And I feel Vampire State Building is one of these ones. It's a 4-issue miniseries on Ablaze Comics. And it's one of these ones that perfectly shows that, you know what, 4 issues is more than enough. Because the only thing is I think, like, I don't know. It was a good story, but I feel like there could have maybe been a little bit more, maybe just a little bit less, and just stretched some other parts out. I don't know, just maybe a little bit in editing. I don't know, but it was a great story, and this last issue was pretty good. Yeah, so imagine like Die Hard meets 30 Days of Night or something. Yeah, something like that. Pretty cool. Family Tree is another one. This is issue number 3 of Family Tree. This one right here, this little girl Megan is turning into a tree. Turns out it's probably somewhat of a family curse, as their grandfather that they had never met before, this girl Megan, and I can't remember what her brother's name. I can't remember, Justin or something, but her mother's name is Loretta. And their grandfather Judd comes to help them out as she's turning into a tree. And here we see that Megan ends up going to meet her father, who has also had this problem, and he turned into a tree. He's not really dead. He's like in this tree world, living it up. People are hugging, they're tree hugging, and I don't know. It's been a pretty crazy and weird book. It's kind of, it almost reminds me of like Fargo, the movie Fargo meets somebody that's turning into a tree. Okay, and this is the last one I want to talk about, guys, right here. I'm not sure if you guys watched my review of this, but Marauders, issue number 6. This book right here was great. Okay, this has been one of the best books out of the House of X, after the House of X and Powers of X came out. They got the Dawn of X. That's all these new X-Men titles. There's been 6 of them so far. They're getting ready to come out with more. They're going to be doing some one-shots and probably some new series, but some of these other series are coming to an end. But Marauders is one I hope continues. This series has been really great, and in this book we learn about Sebastian Shaw. And Sebastian Shaw, I've been trying to say the whole time that this dude is up to no good. He wants not only that 3rd seat on the Quiet Council of Krakoa, he didn't want just the position of the Red King also. He wants the White Queen's position. And in this book, he lets you know exactly what he wants, because, man, he goes after these, dude, he goes hardcore in this book. This is absolutely great book. I think you guys should, if you guys are reading any of these books, you know, want a good comic book to read, Marauders on Marvel Comics is really great. Really great stuff that I think you guys should definitely want to check out there. So yeah, that's all I've got for the comic books. And again, guys, I'm sorry, I showed that video at the beginning, but make sure you go get entered into that. These are the comic books I have, and maybe I'll upload the intro that I had here for the intro to the show. I'll upload that and show you guys a little bit later on. Okay. And I'll have that here on the channel later because I went in a little more in depth into these comic books and stuff. But here, guys, I've got to do something right here. Something I completely forgot to do to get our guest in here today. Let me go ahead and get this link sent out. Let's see. Right here, gotta send this out really quick. And all right. And I am sending out this link right now to our guest and get him in here so we can have a good conversation for you all. And now I'm gonna be playing with around with a few things here, guys, because well, I'm working things a little bit differently here. I'm working something a little bit different here with the stream tonight. So while we're waiting on him to get here, we'll go ahead and get here into the live chat. And okay, let's see who all we got here tonight. We've got Fanjecture, and I want to say thank you to AFK Bard for the super chat. $2 super chat says rolling through and throwing some love your way, Trent. Thank you very much, AFK Bard. That is much appreciated. Okay, so let's see. I see we've got Fanjecture says, oh my god, Lunga's stream is the shit show to end all shit shows. Oh my god, what happened over there? I can only imagine. I can only imagine just going off of what I seen when I was there earlier. So I don't know. I guess we'll see how that goes. Now let's see here. Boom. All right. How's it going? Ooh, hold on. Let me see. I've got to do something else here for me, guys, to get all this stuff ready to go here. I'm not sure if our guest can hear me or not, but give me just a second. All right. All right. Hello. Can you hear me? Oh, can you hear me? Let me see here. Oh, there we go. Sorry.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Well, you are echoing like crazy, my dude.
Yeah.
Holy. Whoa, rip my ears, my guy. Sorry about that. You're echoing like I don't know what to do about that. Hello.
Can you still hear me? There we go. Is that better? All right. I think we're there now. Okay, can you hear me? Okay, can you hear me?
I feel like we're in Flash Gordon.
Okay.
Do you have speakers on, my guy?
Yeah. No, I'm running something a little bit different through here right now. And
I can't hear you in Streamlabs.
all right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, give me just a second. Oh, you know what? I know exactly what it is here. I think.
I can't hear you in Streamlabs, good sir.
Okay, give me just
now.
a second here.
Wait, hold on a second.
For anybody watching, I apologies.
Cannot hear you in Streamlabs. I know I'm repeating myself.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to put on my headphones. There we go. Okay. How about
Sorry,
that?
gang.
Huh?
How is everyone this evening, huh?
All right, there. There we go. How about that?
Wow, yeah, the echo is real, my guy.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, dude, it actually sounds kind of cool, but like I can't like focus.
Damn, what is it? Oh man.
If you were using speakers, maybe, because the speaker might be feeding back into the mic. That's the only thing I could think of. Snow. While we're getting ready here, let me give this a. Wait, can he not hear? Chat, can you hear me? Because I'm narcissistic enough to believe that's the only important thing. I'm just kidding. But it won't let me tweet the. Oh, I already sent this tweet. Never mind. Yeah, I can't hear you in Streamlabs, my guy.
Trying to get
Okay,
everything
chat can
figured
hear
out
me.
here.
That's dope.
Think.
Okay.
Okay.
Chat can hear me.
Okay. Sorry. All right. Okay, we got that. Now I just.
I can't hear you. That's because I have YouTube playing and Streamlabs going.
Let me see here.
We can hear Firewater. Okay. Hi, Snowdub. Yay, I'm on. My name's on screen. I'm so famous.
Okay. Okay, I think that's it right there.
It happens, my guy.
All right. No, it's because I should probably be using there we go.
Ouch. Thanks, Wookie.
Okay, can everybody hear everything fine now? Are we good? Can you hear me now? No. Hey, you know what? Do you have
I still
Skype?
don't hear you in Streamlabs, my dude.
All right, give me just a minute then.
Oh.
Okay, so they can hear you, you can hear me.
I think so. Hello, sir. What the fuck is Alexa turning on for? Go away.
Okay, guys, how's everything sounding now? Do I have everything right now? I think I do.
I'm sorry. I'm naturally loud. My apologies. I'm half Italian. People don't believe me, though, because I don't look it.
No problem, no problem. Okay, so let me see here. I think I can do thing right here. We can get just you. There we go. All right, guys, I think we got it. I think we're ready to go. I think I finally figured it out.
Woohoo!
Okay, and guys, if there's any problem with the audio or anything now, please let me know what's going on. I hope you're all having a good day today. I want to welcome our very special guest, Firewater Effects. Thank you so much for being here. Sorry about the little trip ups and things I got going on here.
Worst things have happened. Thank you for having me. The echo was dope though, and that's not bullshit either. Oh, sorry. Okay, am I allowed to curse or no?
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, you're good. You're
Oh,
good,
okay.
man.
Yeah, sorry. I don't want. I'm not trying to blow up anyone's spot here. No, the echo was dope though. It reminded me of like Flash Gordon. Like it was pretty trippy, man. It was pretty rad. Um, all right. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for coming on. So, I wanted to have you on the show because I've seen you on Mad Max's stream, and I know I've seen you I think on Jeremy Faces' haters streams and things like that.
Yep.
And just seeing you on some of the different streams, I'm like, like I don't know. I mean, why don't you? I guess let's start with who are you? Who is Firewater FX?
I have to be careful how I answer that. So I am someone who is critical of movements that say one thing but then try to kind of do other things in the backside and either excuse negative behavior or portray it themselves. So that's what I am, and I'm very critical of the fandom menace. I believe it's ultimately unnecessary. If people want to be a part of it, that's fine. But I do believe that there is a market for kind of bilking people in the fandom menace and for money. And I think there's been some things here. I'm talking actually quite light here. Maybe I'll move the mic over here. I'm sorry, Wookiee supremacy. I'm not trying to break your ears here, but that's who I am. And I'm just somebody who is critical of things and as I see them. But I take a different approach to the criticism.
And yeah, and that's what I was kind of wondering. So, what exactly like what exactly do you have a channel? Do you like are you a content creator?
I had a YouTube channel. I put some gaming videos on it like 10 years ago or something like that. Like I don't have time to do that now. I took all those videos down. They all sucked anyways. I kind of just hop on streams. I guess I technically have a channel, but I don't. It's not active. I don't know if I would have the ability or the time to commit to said channel, and that's why I kind of just don't do it because I don't think I could kick out videos as often as maybe people would want them, and then that I wouldn't feel good about that.
Okay, all right, fair enough, fair enough. So then like when you're like you like I guess your spot in fandom is you're kind of trying to be a voice to trying to call out others I guess in a way. Is
I'm
that
just trying to call out
or
what I think are bad actors,
okay?
and I don't know how to turn down my mic. Let me see if I could turn it
Oh,
down here. I don't.
is it too high?
Yeah, is there
Like
any way you could turn down
yeah,
my mic but without muting me?
yeah. There we go.
Okay, let's do that then. Yeah, let's bounce out the levels here a little bit. I'm not trying to destroy anyone's ears.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry.
Um, yeah, so that's what I do because I notice patterns of behavior and I kind of call it out, and then I get called a troll for doing that, and I get called a fake fan and things like that. So it's very interesting the dynamic range of responses I've gotten. Apparently, there's a moratorium on going on stream with me. Apparently, several people who are monetized YouTubers originally wanted to appear with me, and now it's amazing how this group of independent thinkers, um, other than being on stream with Mary Berry for about 10 minutes before I came here, but that we weren't really talking. It was more her and Lunga talking. Um, that's where it kind of like apparently there's like from what I heard from sources, so to speak, that
Oh,
because I bypass their talking points.
okay.
I construct my arguments based off their behavior, not based off identity politics, because they can refute the identity politics arguments quite well.
Right.
But and to be fair, I think they do have a reasonable reprisal. However, when I say I go after the money, I
Mhm.
follow the money,
Right.
and then that's when people get all kind of dysregulated. They get all up in arms, and they all get and then I get called a fake fan. I get called all these other things because they don't know how to play defense, and they don't have countermeasures for my points. At least it appears that way right now.
Right. So you're going after the people that are going after all the hate clicks, right? You're calling them out.
Yeah, something like that.
All
That's
right,
fair to
fair
say.
enough. Kind of like Mad Max, I mean, Mad Max is very similar, and yeah, that's cool. I get it. So I mean, I kind of feel like if you're out there doing that, and because that I mean, I came across you by by way of like I said, those Jeremy Faces hater streams, and even on the Mad Max streams. I mean, I don't know, and I'm not saying you have to, but why not go out there and start doing live streams on your channel and doing things like that so you can, I mean, because I feel like if you're a voice, wanting to be a voice talking, and calling some of these people out, I mean, why not just go ahead and make content anyway since you're doing, I mean, because then you have your own platform, you know what I mean? And it's not like you have to put effort into it to like to grow it to like, like you're trying to get monetized and all that stuff. But then so you can have your own platform where you can, occasionally do a live video, maybe just sharing your own feelings and doing that way. I mean, contributing in that way. I mean, because you're already contributing anyway. I mean, I heard of you, right?
Yeah, of course. No, no, I appreciate the offer to be on here. No, that's a good point. Maybe I'll think about that. I just have to tread lightly with what I do. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's a thought. Maybe that's a thought.
Yeah, and I just think because like I feel that's like one of the big advantages that we have these days, and I guess our modern society is that if we got something to say, we I mean we got our like literally we have these computers in our in our pockets at all times. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes, of
So
course.
you really have access 24/7 to be able to do something like that. So I just kind of wondering like, hey, because I didn't go check your channel or anything, but I think I remember
Yeah,
you
no, there's
mentioning it
nothing there.
before.
It wouldn't. It would be a waste of your time, I assure you. Because there's nothing there. But no, I mean, I see your point. I'll just have to think about that because there's other implications outside of my control that might prevent me from starting my own channel. And they're kind of complicated in private.
Right.
We can leave it at that. But yeah, I like what you've been doing with Second Street. You seem like you've been reviewing some comics. Seem like give your honest opinion. Some comics are good, some comics are not. And I think
Mhm.
that's great because I think what happens with the fandom menace, even Jeremy inadvertently agreed with me on stream. He made two positive videos about the Mandalorian at the time and one negative, and the negative had almost more views than both positive combined. So what that tells us is if your negative views or negative content is going to grant you more views, and Jeremy has said that he is here for money. He's here to monetize people and get paid. And I said, all right, that's fine. Um, but if you're here, then what I would suggest is that kind of counters authenticity. Because how do we know if you're being authentic? If being negative grants more clicks than anything else, then how do we know you're not just being negative for negative sake?
Right.
Because you need to make a house payment or your car payment or whatever.
Yeah.
So I challenge the authenticity of it. I don't believe that he's racist or sexist. I don't believe that the fandom menace as a whole are racist or sexist. Some of them are man babies
Mhm.
and woman babies, to be all inclusive. But
I
and
and I
I don't
think
understand why he links all three of them together because they're all three different points. But are there some probable sexists and racists in the group? Probably. I just don't know who they are, and I don't think it's fair to generalize the group that way.
yeah, and I think there's
Um,
I think and I was gonna say, and that's what I was getting ready to say. I think you come across those kind of people in any walk of life, in any fandom, in any kind of anything. I mean, there's just people out there who are like that. You know what I mean? Just because that's the world. That's the world that we live in. Um,
mhm.
I mean, for the most part, that's really what it comes down to. Is that's the world we live in. Is people are assholes, and people are allowed to be assholes, I guess. Um, yeah. So what makes you like want to call them out for these things? Like, I mean, because does it like affect you and your fandom, or like what's that kind of deal? Like what's your deal there?
Well, I feel bad because I see it as people getting exploited,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't sit well with me. And I understand what they would say, like these are all voluntary transactions. Because what it is, you ever watch the YouTuber Alex Becker?
No, no, never heard
He's
of
a
him.
pretty smart guy. He's an entrepreneur. He's a multimillionaire, right? And he used to make actual negative Star Wars content.
Okay.
Um, and he said he stopped because he says what quote unquote anger porn is kind of getting in the way of his business, is getting in the way of his goals.
Right.
So the way he explains it is like you get angry about stuff you have no control over, and then you spend all your time trying to solve this impossible problem.
Huh. Hmm. Yeah. Interesting.
So, and to answer Biden touch, he said it on Twitter multiple times. Like I don't have links to specific tweets.
Oh,
He's here to
but
make money. He's flat out said that. He doesn't deny it. So you can go ask him if you think I'm full of crap.
oh,
That's
okay.
fine. But no. So I mean, and he says in this video, and actually this is how I felt, but he just kind of codified it much better than I could. That you spend your time, and then he, if he wanted to create good anger porn, he'd find stuff for you to be angry about, and
Hmm.
then position it again and say, "Oh, they're attacking you. They're this. They're that," and then you get even more pissed off, and then you kind of go down a rabbit hole, and then you kind of really didn't accomplish anything for the day. So that's what I see. I see people that were distant. They feel like maybe they're even being gentrified by Disney,
Hmm.
like they're being pushed out of their homes so they can knock them down and build bigger homes, and I can understand that. But I don't understand the irrational reaction to people that enjoy Disney Star Wars.
Right.
I don't like why can't you just enjoy the original stuff, and then they can enjoy Disney Star Wars, and then everybody wins, everybody goes home. But
Right.
there's something else at play that they generally won't admit, in my opinion,
Well, and
is that
I think the
go ahead.
thing I think the thing is just like you're saying. I mean, it's to make some money, and I think that's really what like a lot
He
of
doesn't want to go
people.
back work in retail, man. I don't blame him.
Right.
I'm not gonna
Hey.
dunk on. I mean, I get that he kind of has dug this hole and he has to keep going down it
Yeah.
until the
I
hole doesn't
worked
go any
retail for
further.
years.
Sure, I worked retail too when I was in college and all that stuff. Hey, man, I
Yeah.
mean, I delivered pizza. I did what I had to do. People got to grind. I respect that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, and that's what I say. Like for me, like I see other people. Like I see some of the videos that I see like a lot of that stuff out there, and I'm like, for the most part, I don't watch it. Occasionally, I go through and I watch some people's videos and stuff like that. Like where I hear about it is from like Mad Max when he talks about it, or occasionally Josh from Den of Nerds talks about some of these other other people out there with all their all their hate videos and all this stuff. And I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't know. Most of them, like I don't always go watch. Occasionally, I do. Occasionally, I go watch some, but for the most part, I'm just like,
Yeah,
yeah. I realize there's people that are upset out there, and there's people out there doing what they can to create content and finding whatever way they can to make content. And hey, I ain't gonna knock nobody's hustle, you know what I mean? But you know, I don't know. I'm also not here. Like, I think it's weird too. Like when like the thing I've noticed so much lately is people like trying to police fandoms and all that stuff too. And sometimes I feel like that's when we get in some of these things where we're like maybe like you're going to go try to fight the fandom menace and all these kinds of things. It's like, yeah, is it even really worth it? I
well,
mean,
I mean, that's a
it's
great
you
question. That's
know
something that I have asked myself as well. It's like sometimes I feel like I'm a paramedic getting to the scene 15 minutes late, and it's just their DOA. There's nothing I can do.
right.
But at the same time, I feel like if I feel something about that, I should say something. And some people want to listen, and other people don't. I don't blame. I'm blocked by a lot of fandom menace people on Twitter.
Right.
They get rude with me. I get rude back. Apparently, I'm better at being rude, and they can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
So they block me, and that's fine. They want to block me, they block me. But then they'll go around and say, "Well, Star Wars Explained blocked me. I have no idea why. They're a bunch of." But then, like, you block other people, dude. It's like if you're gonna
Yeah.
call others out for blocking, why do you engage in the behavior that you despise?
Yeah.
Isn't that the very definition of hypocrisy?
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of people though. I think everybody kind of gets involved in that a little bit too much at times, and quite honestly, I mean, it gets old. It gets old. And that's why I for the most part I kind of just concentrate on my own content and doing what I do. And occasionally somebody will say something, or I'll see a video come across. I'm like, oh my god, like this person don't know what the hell they're talking about. Maybe it's time to make a video about it. But most of it's never really dealing with anybody specific. Like maybe I might mention that I heard it over on this channel, and so and so, because it's somebody that I actually watch their channel and stuff, and then I'll bring it up and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just see a lot of this discourse going on out there, and I'm just like, yeah, it just seems a little too silly. Like I get it. I get wanting to, like uh, keep people from being exploited in that way. But again, like these people are doing it voluntarily as well. But then
No,
also
that's
just
true. That's true. But I think if somebody's going to engage in something, they should have all the facts first.
yeah, and I agree with that too. I
Yeah.
agree with that
And
too.
if you still want to do it, then hey, then I've done my part, But I do think that I mean, have you're big into comics, obviously. I can see your posters there and everything. That's dope, by the way.
Yeah.
What did you ever speak about stealing solo? I don't know if you did or didn't. I'm going to be honest with you.
No, well, I think I talked about it the other week after you guys had talked about it on Max's stream, And my
Hmm.
only, you know, I didn't back the only small like indie publisher that I've backed is Preston Poulter from Pocket Jacks Comics.
Yeah, I've
Um,
watched some of his videos. He's very dry. He's
yeah,
funny though.
and
Yeah, he seems like a good dude. Yeah.
yeah, and I met him at LA Comic Con too, but you know, and you know, he does a lot of those videos, you know, talking about Comicsgate and all that kinds of stuff. And he's the only one that I've backed up just because he seemed to have his shit together and you know everything. I'm like, you know, he's consistently delivering a good product, so I'm like, okay, I'll you know, so I went ahead and backed his stuff up. I just honestly like when it comes to the other Comicsgate stuff, I don't really know a whole lot of the other creators. Like I've been wanting to I can't remember his real name, but your boy Zach. I've been interested in checking out his book, you know, and backing it up, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Yeah. Your boy Zach. What is that? Richard C. Meyer, I believe is his name.
Yeah, I think so. That
Yeah.
sounds right. You know, and
Yeah,
he's
we'll go with that. Yeah.
yeah, and
No, like I said, and I understand that comics are cool, but they're not. I haven't bought a comic. Last time I bought a comic, I believe, was Civil War.
mhm.
But the reason why I brought up Stealing Solo because he kind of Jeff from World Class Bullshitters kind of crosses that line with Comics Gate and Fandom Menace,
Mhm.
and he took over 50K, and you heard what happened, right?
Yeah, I heard there's a lot of problems with the
I
book
mean,
and all
you've
kinds of
been
stuff.
around a
And
lot of fulfillment. You've seen a lot of comic books.
yeah, and me
That would not be acceptable to you, I have to assume.
yeah, oh yeah, I mean I wouldn't be happy about it, but I think the one thing is, I mean, I know he made a video, he came out and apologized for it, and hopefully, you know, he said he's going to look into it and get to the bottom of it. I like for me before I make any judgments about it. I want to see what he's gonna do if he actually gets things taken care of, and you know either sends out new books or and you know or refunds money or however you know
Well,
however you
no,
would have
he
to do
said no
that.
refunds. That's not happening.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, no, he flat
um,
out said. So here's
and and that
now
makes
let
that
me
makes
give you
sense
some
too
more
because he can
data
just
that you
reprint
might not have
books.
heard. Let me give you some more data and let me see if I can maybe shape your opinion here a little bit. Okay, so he did that video where he apologized. His girlfriend released a video attacking backers. Now, granted, that's not his fault, but it's
Oh
collateral damage. That was
I
dumb.
think I've seen a lot of that stuff
Yeah,
too.
that was
And
dumb.
I think my
But
thing
here's the thing
is I
too.
just want to
Here's
see
the
the end of it all
no.
before I decide
But there
okay like this dude's like literally
I'm
trying to rip people off because I don't think he set out intentionally to try to rip anybody
I'm going to
off.
provide evidence to suggest otherwise. Here's why. Okay. Every copy of the book, except for like a dozen or so, were supposed to be signed.
Mm-hmm.
He picked a company that did distribution and fulfillment, right? Or fulfillment and distribution. I should reverse the order. So, what that tells me is that he had no intention of getting the books to his house to hand sign and ship them out. He'd have to ship them twice or go to the distributor, which I don't believe was local to him. I think it would have cost more for him to fly to the distributor than it would have been to have the book shipped to his house and whatever.
And then ship him back
Also,
out.
no T-shirts, no posters, and no hats were promised that were delivered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, as I'm saying
He's
again.
admitted that the reason why there's no refunds is because he got laid off from his job.
Yeah.
So
And
what that tells me is that he spent the profits ill-gottenly. He should not have spent those, and they're gone.
and that's very I mean that's very highly possible. I mean people misuse and flush their money down the toilet in all kinds of ways anyway.
Right.
But
Well, you
yeah,
got a new
I mean
girlfriend.
I
Ladies are
can't really
expensive. Yeah.
speak on it because it's like I said it's nothing I've really been interested in or looked into because mainly because I
Fair
mean
enough.
hell I didn't back the book.
No,
But I
I
mean I
agree.
would be upset if I was a consumer and that did happen to me though at the
But
same
tying
time.
into the fandom menace, this is why I'm concerned because I just don't want to see good people that were upset at a franchise get exploited.
Yeah, oh yeah,
And that's
I
why I
understand
bring
that.
up Jeff Hicks because that, in my opinion, and if you feel differently, I respect that. I don't. I think he got too deep
Mhm.
and isn't willing really to fix it because I heard that his new book will come. The new books will come out after Cecil's book comes out,
Okay.
which is
Yeah.
2021, which is not acceptable in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I think the thing with Jeff Hicks also is I think you know maybe it was his first time doing something like that and he probably didn't know what to do and you know I was even talking to somebody else about it. I think it was that same night was you know like sure he's friends with Ethan Van Sciver but I doubt that even Ethan being a friend with him probably sat there and held his hand the whole way. But
No, but
yeah,
he did promise that he would make a comic book that would exceed industry standards. He had no qualifications to say that. He's an amateur,
right.
not a
Yeah, as I was
professional.
saying that, and that's I think there's a whole lot of first time trip ups with things like that, you know, and maybe
Mm,
just got himself
maybe.
into a little too far. So yeah, I mean, this probably isn't the last that we've heard of the situation or that we're gonna hear of it anyway.
Probably not. But anyways, but that's just one example. The reason why I brought it up is because I just see that a lot of people in the fandom menace are just kind of, you know, falling to like almost like a grift. So one of the questions I have is why does some fandom menace members get to make money off of other fandom menace members? Why is that? Because I thought it was a movement to discuss displeasure with Disney Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, I honestly don't know anything about that. I mean, I don't really follow a whole lot of the Phantom Menace stuff or anything like
Fair
that.
enough.
I don't really pay most of it any attention. So
Right, and
what
but
is?
yeah, that's kind of like my angle, and that's why I do what I do because I would love to have answers to these questions, but I doubt that I'll get them.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
probably
saying?
not. Probably not.
Yep.
So what is it? What is it you're a fan of? Like what? I mean, obviously Star Wars. You like Star Wars?
Yeah, I do. I do like Star Wars. I didn't like Last Jedi. I liked Force Awakens, and I thought Rise of Skywalker was pretty good considering. Maybe I'm being sympathetic to J.J. Abrams because I am a fan, and that's fair. But I like. I love the Marvel movies. I'll go see everything they put out. I loved Joker. Joker, I thought was
That was a good one.
damn near perfect.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the new Batman with Robert Pattinson.
Yeah,
Um,
I kind of feel that I wish we would have got more Batfleck.
yeah, I
I'm
thought
down with the
he was a
Batfleck.
good. You know what it is? I thought Batman vs Superman Extended Edition was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I liked Batfleck. I did not see Justice League, so I can't comment on that. Um,
Phew,
but
you're not missing
I
much.
really like Ben Affleck. Looked like he fit the role. I didn't know if he'd be able to pull off like the. I knew he'd be able to pull off like the billionaire guy. Quite successful. He's done other roles like that before where he plays like a wealthy dude. I was concerned that he wouldn't be able to like to handle the action and whatnot, but he did very good. I thought Batfleck was good, and I guess what there was a changing of the guard, and they just canned him because Batman vs Superman didn't do that well theatrically, or after Justice League. Justice League kind of, I don't want to say bombed, but didn't do as well as maybe they wanted. Is that why he was out?
Yeah, I mean, who knows, man? He probably wanted out because just Warner Brothers doesn't seem to have their shit together for doing their DC
Yeah,
movies
or
lately.
maybe yeah, he's just collateral damage, right? There
Yeah,
was a changing of the guard, and they just said they just did a fire sale with the cast. You know, like everybody go, well,
yeah.
almost everybody. You know, Ezra Miller I know is out as the Flash. So like I said, they change actors all the time. It's tough to keep up. Whereas Marvel, they only did that twice with Ed Norton and Terrence Howard, as far as I know.
Yeah,
Um,
I think as far as I can recall, I think so. For the most part, that was really about it. But I mean, they've had their trip ups with directors as well.
Oh,
You
sure,
know,
sure. But at
Edgar
least the
Wright.
cast have stayed the same. You know, at least
Yeah,
like I'll give you that. I mean, Marvel hasn't been MCU hasn't been a perfect rival whatsoever, but damn, does it make money?
yeah, very
Damn, does
bankable.
it make money? You know?
Yeah. So, um, so what is your favorite when it comes to like Star Wars? Is that like is that your favorite fandom of all the different
Yeah,
things out there,
I really
franchises?
enjoyed the Star Wars fandom. I like I love the original, like the prequels, and I like Disney minus Episode 8. I even liked Solo. I thought Solo was a better movie than The Last Jedi, but it got punished at the box office.
I think Solo was
Um,
decent. I think it was
Solo
decent.
was all right. The
Yeah.
like I said, it wasn't a perfect movie. I liked Donald Glover as Lando. I thought he was pretty cool.
Mhm.
Um, I thought honestly, and this is an unpopular opinion. I wish they put in like Chris Pratt as Solo, like put some star power behind it, and I think the movie would have done a lot better. But I know why people would disagree with that because George Lucas wants to. The tradition is to use kind of like sort of lesser known actors for the main roles.
Yeah. And see, for me, I
But
think they should have kept Phil Lord and Chris Miller on it too.
yeah, I mean Kathleen Kennedy. It appears that her leadership is sporadic. I mean, there are some hits. Force Awakens was great. Rogue One hit. That was a good one. Last Jedi came out. It was like it made a ton of money. It was the highest grossing film in 2017.
Yeah.
And then Solo lost money, unfortunately, and that's a bummer. But they did have a couple TV shows. Like Rebels was a hit. It seems like Resistance isn't so much a hit. They're releasing the new Clone Wars, Disney Plus, Mandalorian. I mean, it's just awesome. And that's the thing. I operate under the premise that fandom should be fun. Like if you're reading comic books and you're enjoying the Spider-Man or the Avengers, you should be having fun doing so.
Oh yeah, I do. It's great.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great.
But I feel like some people in the fandom menace are not having fun. or their fun is kind of dunking on others on Twitter.
Right, and I think that's what a lot of it is. People get shits and giggles out of trolling other people, And honestly, that's kind of how I found my way to YouTube, because like I perfected the Facebook world. I'd be sitting there like I used to fuck with my friends on Facebook and just just troll them and all kinds of stuff, just kind of fucking around and just different stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, this is kind of boring, I need something else. And then that's when I started watching some YouTube videos, and I started watching some of these like the theory videos and stuff out there about like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And then next thing you know, I started making content kind of like that, and next thing you know, I'm talking about comic books, and now I'm nerding shit up. And yeah, I don't know. And the comic book community's been really great too. A lot of them are, I don't know, just very cool and supportive. And I've noticed that like when it comes to like comic, and I was talking about this the other day, is when it comes to like comic book reviews and everything, like it's different watching a whole range of comic book reviews about the same book than it is like movie reviews. Because I feel like when it comes to movie reviews, a lot of people, it usually falls under liked it or didn't like it, and most of the reasons why are almost across the board the same for the most part. Where comic books, it's a lot different.
That's actually something I would be interested in. Maybe I should start reading comics again, because I am like you're right. You go on a YouTube review, you saw one video, you probably saw 100,
Right.
right? And there is nuance, there are differences. Actually, I just want to address the chat here, Marquise Roberts. I was operating under the premise that Ezra Miller walked from the Flash movie. I believe that was announced. I don't know if he came back. Is that true, Second Street? I don't know.
I'm
This
not
was
for
a
sure.
while ago.
I don't pay attention to the like the TV shows, and like as far as them on the movies, like I
All
just
right,
I
not
don't
your
have a
thing. So
feeling
then,
I don't
if
have a
I
feeling he's coming
misspoke there,
back.
then I'll stand corrected. But no, like I said, I'm a big theater. The one thing I don't do is read for pleasure. I don't. The last time I read a novel was in college because I
Hmm.
had to,
Right.
for English class. So I don't do that. And I guess you can include comic books there, although I think I appreciate the artwork. I used to love them all the time when I was a kid. I love the heroes. Um, I do like I'm excited to hear. I'm hoping the rumors are true for the Fantastic Four movie where they got John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. I think that's more wishful thinking at this point, but that would be dope. I'm excited for all this
See,
stuff. It's supposed to be fun. If you're not having a good time in your fandom, you need to reevaluate your place in the fandom, in my opinion.
yeah, and me, I want to see. Everyone wants Krasinski to be Reed Richards. I want Krasinski to be Doctor Doom.
No, no way, man. He's got to be a good guy. I can't make him
Nah,
Doctor
Doctor
Doom.
Doom, man, because I think he could bring that good humanity to him. That guy that you're like, this dude is a bad dude, but like I feel for this guy. I think this dude is like
Yeah.
he could be because like Doom is one of those kind of dynamic characters like that anyway. That you need somebody who can do that, and I think he's the perfect that.
Well, it'd be interesting because Doctor Doom has a thing for the Invisible Woman. Make his wife the Invisible Woman, and he hits on his own wife in the movie. That would be kind of meta, right? That would be. I
Yeah.
could go for that because I think she would be perfect as Sue Richards,
Mhm.
Emily Blunt. I think she's.
I
I think
think
she's a
so.
terrific actress.
Yeah.
I really do. But yeah, like I said, that's really what I'm about. And sometimes I get little quips and salty on Trigger. I was screaming. I kind of threw my voice out a little bit. I was screaming a little bit on the last stream. Not like just fun, having some fun, but there was a lot of drama there. Uh,
And
and
which stream was that on? Was that on Darth Daddy's stream? Were you
yes,
on?
it was.
Oh no, I
And
missed
I
it.
had arrived late to the party because people are gonna laugh at me, but I was watching Schitt's Creek and Riverdale with the wife, so I gotta watch that Riverdale.
Uh, all right, you can blame it on
Sh-
your wife if you want.
yeah,
We'll let you
well,
do
that's
that.
that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, good sir.
That's funny. You know what's funny is I used to blame Teen Mom on my wife too, but I mean she was the one who put it on. Yeah, I can't help
I
it that I
occasionally watch
watched it.
Kardashians once in a while. I'll tell you what, they're some of the best marketing people in the world, the Kardashians.
Oh yeah,
People can
my
say what
wife
they
she used
want.
to
People
watch
can say
that
what they
crap
want.
too, man.
Yeah, whatever. It makes her happy, and like I said, we both work a lot of hours, so we try to spend time when we can. She's exhausted right now, so she's passed out, but we have
Yeah,
a busy day tomorrow. But yeah, so I mean, that's really what I'm about. That's really what I do. I see things, and if I think something's wrong, I speak up.
right
That's
on.
it.
Well, and see,
Yeah.
and that's why I say I think like I said, I don't really know you too well. That's why I figured I'd kind of get you on here and ask you a few questions, see who you are, what you do, and that's why I was sitting there thinking like because I didn't check, but I thought I remembered you saying that you didn't make content. And I'm like, you should. I mean, get on. I mean, you've got I mean, even access to the StreamYard. Just do just maybe like a 30-minute video, 15-minute video, just sharing your feelings on something you've seen or something. And I don't know. I think you'd be good at it because, like I said, I mean, you've already got kind of a network of people that are watching you and know who you
Yeah,
are
and
anyway.
I appreciate them. I really do, and I
Yeah.
appreciate you for doing this and the videos you make. I think it's pretty cool. I try to pop on your streams when I can. I drive a lot for work, so I try to throw on like I have YouTube Red. I try to throw like streams on while while I'm driving. I listen, so I consume a lot of YouTube on the road.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
God
what I
for
do too
unlimited
because
data,
I
man.
drive
Thank
around a
God.
lot. Yeah, I drive around. Like sometimes if there's videos that dropped in the morning while I'm doing my show or something, I'll just download them on my phone, and then I'll watch those while I'm driving around. And then if somebody else puts a video up, I'll just sit there and watch it and stuff like that. Of course, it's bad because then a lot of times I forget to like videos and all that stuff that we're supposed to do for our friends when we're watching and enjoying their videos. And I'm really bad about going back and doing all that stuff.
Right. No, I hear you. And like I said, it's YouTube's an interesting environment. Uh, and I get that people are playing the game, so to speak, and which is why with demonetized outrage YouTubers, I challenge their authenticity. If
Right.
they're so angry all the time at the movie, why don't they just, like if I were so angry at something all the time that it was within my control to do something about it, I would just stop consuming the product. I
Right.
don't like
Right.
EA games anymore, so I don't buy them.
Yeah.
I don't need to change my career and start a YouTube channel about it.
Yeah.
You,
And
you know, like
Yeah, and
I don't.
at the same time, I mean, at the same time, I mean, I kind of feel like if people want to do that, go ahead and do it. But hey, man, I'm not buying into it. Shit.
Yeah, no, I agree. I
I
agree. But like I said, but I
and
do
plus, there's
think
only
there's
so
a
many
little
of
bit of
those hate
deception
videos I can
there.
watch. How many of those hate videos can you watch anyway? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, there's an interesting statistic. There's this article that was written by Bloomberg, and it says that that we have a booming economy, and millennial males are the worst performing category. There's
Hmm.
600,000 that are um, not working a job, not going to school, live at home with mom or dad or whoever, and don't have plans to do either in a year. Like they going through a case study. Dude's delivering pizza, trying to scrape together a living. He just quits his job because he says he's not getting paid what he's worth, and then he never didn't have another job lined up. I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? I would be shitting my pants if that were me.
Yeah.
If oh my god, if I lost my job, I'd be like in damage control mode. Like, how much do we have in our savings? How many mortgage payments do we have? I would be shitting my pants. This guy's like, nah, not gonna do it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. So like, I'm wondering what these people do with their time all day, and part of me thinks that they consume all this anger stuff to displace their aggression. But I'm still waiting to get evidence for that. But that's just a working
Right.
premise right now, and it's subject to change because I might get evidence otherwise. But
Yeah.
that's what I believe.
Right on.
And I'm looking for evidence for that. And I think I got some because Jeremy on that hater stream kind of slipped his demographics out.
Mm-hmm.
So he said it's mostly male, 18 to 45. So the entire millennial generation is captured in that.
Right.
So
Dang it, that's my audience too. Damn
I
it.
know. Go get
Shit.
a job, audience.
He's
No, I'm
he's
just
after
kidding.
my
But
people.
I know. But you seem to make reasonable and balanced content, at least from what I heard. You know what I'm saying?
I would say balanced. Yeah, it's funny too because just just this morning on the Den of Nerds live stream, I was on there commenting and Darth Lunga, he said something about like, oh, something like, isn't this go against your pacifist ways, Trinity? I'm like, I'm not a pacifist. And so I told him, I was like, you know what? You gave me an idea for a T-shirt. Maybe I'll finally come up with a T-shirt to make, and it's gonna be Second Street Marvel, and it's gonna say, I'm not a pacifist. I'm just not an asshole.
I like it. That's good. That's good, man.
But
No,
yeah,
I
because that's
think
the
your
thing. Like,
videos are
I certainly
reasonable and
have my
fair.
opinions,
Your
and a lot
content
of
speaks
them
on
would
it.
be, I don't know, I guess really strong opinions toward things as well. But like I don't feel the need. Like what I think about when it comes to a lot of these things doesn't fucking matter. Just like Brie Larson's opinion doesn't fucking matter. Just like Chris Evans or whatever other celebrity out there, Donald Trump's, like this shit doesn't matter.
I agree,
What's my
but these
opinion matter?
YouTubers will convince people that it does.
Right.
And then they build their whole channel off that. And when you start attacking that narrative a little bit, then they start blocking you on Twitter and things like that, and they challenge your fandom and whatnot. So It's a very interesting dichotomy to see. They'll circle the wagons all the time. Like none of these independent, the Fandom Menace is allegedly independent thinkers, but none of these YouTubers have came out and publicly criticized Jeff Hicks.
Right.
Because but all the, but they, I guess they independently came to the same conclusion.
And
Um,
it could be a lot that a lot of it could be that a lot of those people didn't back his book neither.
True,
You know, could be
but
that
it could be.
them particular
But
people
I
probably
have a
like I'm
feeling
not
they
doing
circle the
that.
wagons. Like you could
Like,
have an opinion about it and not back the book.
yeah.
And if you're going to criticize Disney for releasing a bad product, well, you got your world class bullshitters. Which, if you're going to have a name like that, I don't know how you don't execute flawlessly.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, you did that to yourself now, because now I could say, oh, Jeff is releasing another book. Well, that's some world class bullshit.
yeah,
You know,
and like I said, on that thing, hopefully he ends up
I'm hoping he
getting it
does,
all made
man.
up to people and
But
getting the books out.
I don't, I think it's very doubtful. And
Yeah, I
what
mean,
gets me is that I think there should be some regulation. I'm not a big regulation guy, but if you're gonna back something on one of these websites, they should be forced to guarantee your backing. Like if that way, if the product doesn't come out, you're not DOA. You know?
well, I think on can't like on Indiegogo and some of those things, I think you can file complaints and stuff against some of the things. I think I'm not for sure. I noticed like well, at least I think it's on Kickstarter where you can get on there and like you can report this thing or whatnot, and you know I guess people probably I'm sure there's that option out there, but
Yeah, but the problem is that there, once the money's gone, what do you do?
right. I mean you just I mean yeah I was gonna say that's the thing is I mean pretty much you're out your money. You know what I mean? And that's yeah that's and
That's why
that
I don't
always
back
sucks to
indie
be in that
campaigns, because
situation.
like my attitude is like the one gentleman from the Fandom Menace needed $6,000 to write a book. I was like, well, what do you need 6K for? You can get a pen and a pad at your dollar store. You can
Right.
start writing,
Yeah.
but I need 6K up front. Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where's the money going towards?
Yeah.
You know,
And again,
I can understand
I
you need to
wouldn't
raise
know.
money to make hardcovers. I'll give you that,
Yeah.
but a lot of it just seems like kind of like a grift to me, and I just don't like seeing people get ripped off.
Yeah, yeah, and
That's it.
that's not good. And again, that's also I mean that's also on people too. Just knowing people fall for those stupid phone scams and text scams. You know, I've been getting these
Yeah,
texts lately
that's true.
from FedEx, and I'm like, people probably fall for this. People fall for this shit.
Yeah, you know what it is? They spam out 10,000 people. They just need like two or three hits.
Right. Yeah.
And they catch some unlucky bastard.
Yeah.
But what all I say is like I said, I try to act as a countermeasure towards that, and
Yeah.
hopefully it's doing some good. And it might not be. Maybe it's all falling on deaf ears. People believe what they want to believe, and they just want to crap on people on Twitter. And that's the case. That's probably the likely scenario. But I figure for now I'm enjoying myself. I'm having a good time. It challenges my brain. I enjoy the discussion. I enjoy the debate.
Yeah, certainly. And that's the thing
And
is I think that's important. I mean, is at least having that discussion. And the thing is that, that's one thing. Like I ended up finding you through Mad Max. That's one of the things I like that he's been doing, is that like now of course my thing is always the methodology and how you go about it. Like when he's going after so and so, he's calling Odin all kinds of names and stuff. I'm like, you don't have to do all that. I mean, you could make a video talking about Odin and then send it, once it gets some attention, just send him if he don't talk to you on Twitter or something, just send him like, hey man, you want to come on the show and we can just talk about it. Like, I don't
yeah,
know, like just all the all the kid games going on back and forth and all that stuff. I'm just like, eh, eh, you know to me it's just exhausting. It's just exhausting. But
yeah.
but I respect Max that he's been able to do that, and I do actually feel like he's got some of these people to kind of loosen up a little bit and kind of come around and wanting to have more conversations. And I think more people should be open and willing to have those conversations. Whether it's a hard conversation, whether you like somebody or whether you don't like somebody, because especially if it's somebody that's one of your critics, somebody you don't like. I think you have a little more to learn just from that person. Just like they in sports they always say you learn more from a loss than you do
Well,
from a
yeah,
win.
of course. No, and that's why I will give Jeremy this credit. He did confront people that were critical of him,
Right.
and he did it twice, as
Hmm.
far as I know. And I think he's been on other individual streams, but he gave an open forum twice, as far as I know. Maybe he's done it more,
I think just
but
twice as far as I
yeah,
know.
I mean, which is twice more than some other people have. You know,
Right.
so I give him credit for that, because he could have just said, "All right, well, you're just haters. I'm going to write you off," or I'm going to signal boost it so that I could get some more money. You know, and that's what it comes down to. So I give him a lot of credit for that. I really do.
Yeah, and like me, like, and I've talked, I did a show a couple of weeks ago. I clickbaited everybody into watching my video, when I talked about Jeremy. And like, my thing is like, I don't hate Jeremy. I don't really know the guy or anything like that. I mean, to me, like, I don't really subscribe to Geeks and Gamers or anything like that. Occasionally, I stop by and watch some of their videos, but like, he reminds me a lot of somebody, like a lot of my friends that I grew up with. And I'm sure if I met the guy in person, he's probably hilarious, probably a good dude and all that stuff. But I just don't watch his content. I don't think that breaks his heart. You know what I mean? I don't think
No, no, I
and
agree. I
I mean,
agree.
we're all grown ups here. Like, nobody's gonna be mad if you don't watch their content. It's like, oh well.
No, I
Like,
agree.
I'm not
I
losing any
agree.
sleep over it. But yeah, I don't know. And that's the thing is sometimes maybe like I said, I think sometimes we just get too much into it. We get too caught up into it. We got to talk about it and all those things. And occasionally, I like to talk about those kinds of things as well. And occasionally, I've here on my trailer park lives here, have gone off and been a little nutty myself at times.
Right, it happens. Yeah, I agree. But the key is to just, talk about the things you love, not
Right.
love to hate.
Yeah, and that's what I like
And
to do is share what I love, and then when there's things that what I don't hate, what I would like to do is when there's situations like that, when the specific stuff is to be able to reach out to somebody and be like, hey, can you come on and talk about this? But most people, if they see what you said in the first place, it's like, oh, this dude just wants to get me on his fucking show and beat me up in front of
yeah, and
people.
embarrass me. Yeah, exactly. No, I hear you. But I mean, everyone I've spoken to on stream, I've tried to be courteous with. I haven't had anyone try to come at me, so I figure fair is fair. Um,
Yeah, and I think sometimes when people get on streams like that too, people get like too all like all puffy chested, like they're actually meeting on their to take care of their beef in person, and it's like, okay, you wouldn't do that in person in the first place, but
yeah, knock it
it's
off. Stop it.
because I noticed some
Stop it.
people
Get
get it.
help.
They're on their back foot. Like they're on the defense. Like, yeah, do you really like? Do you really have to take it that serious? I mean, we're just talking about YouTube content creators and our stupid fucking videos we make. You
But
know what
I
I mean?
think
Like, that's
some
the
people
silly
do have to
thing.
take it that far, and that kind of plays into like my little thesis there.
Hmm.
And it's sort of like I get why people are upset about Star Wars, and what I'm gonna find interesting is where are these angry Star Wars YouTubers, right? What are they gonna do for 2020 and beyond? Because the saga's done, and there's already I've been kind of taking a look at the analytics for some channels that kind of focus on that content, and their analytics are down. Now, people will say it's because of January, and maybe that's true, but the saga's over. People who hate Disney Star Wars paid money to go see it for some reason. That's something I don't understand.
Hmm.
I don't understand why they would hate watch something. I guess because I think there's other variables at play, right? Because rationally, if you don't like something, why would you give it money to keep it going?
Right. Yeah.
Even so that doesn't make sense to me. So then there must be that what that means. I operate under the premise that if we don't understand something, we're not calculating enough variables.
Hmm.
And so that's where the social movement comes in. I honestly believe that they feel like they're being gentrified or kind of muscled out, and so they're lashing out. Um, some of them, not everyone, but I do think those are some questions I have for the Fandom Menace. I would love to talk to these Fandom Menace YouTubers,
What
but when
have
I
you ever
start
have you
attack,
ever tried to reach out to anybody? And I mean, I was gonna say,
I
and I
have an
think,
open invitation on stream. I've reached out.
well,
I've asked questions to people. I think everyone mutes me
yeah.
because they don't want to deal with me.
And I think that's why it would be important for you to maybe like on your own channel, like start doing some videos every now and again, and do some videos like maybe where you're calling somebody out and saying, hey, but you know what? I would love to talk to you about this on a stream sometime, and
Yeah,
things like that.
maybe that's a thought.
And just because maybe you can get just your focused opinion and thoughts out there without like somebody like me being there, being on Mad Max's stream with you and him and maybe two other people or anything like that. Like sometimes even when you're in a discussion on something like that, and it's not even where people are disagreeing, it's just people kind of talking over each other, and as a watcher, it's kind of like I can't really understand what's going on.
Yeah, it can get tricky when there's more than like three or four people, and sometimes it's fun, but sometimes it's difficult. I mean, what I wanted to do was I'm trying to draw up questions. I was going to come up with like 50 questions for the Fandom Menace
Mm-hmm.
and maybe release that as a video. But I just honestly, man, I don't have the time. My wife's best friend just had a baby. We're going to be kind of distracted with that all weekend. I work a shit ton of hours. And so trying to get the time to do that, that's something that I'm kind of just, you know, kind of just trying to get that going.
Yeah,
And
and that's what I say. I mean, this live stream thing is a good idea, or you could even just record one on your phone while you're at work. Just do a little voice memo or something and upload later with the photo slideshow. I don't, not too much effort, but a little bit of effort, in spare time. I think it would. I mean, I think it would help benefit you in what you're wanting to do, and in helping, I guess, amplify your message, I guess, and
yeah,
trying to
it's a
get
little
try to get more
No,
people
I agree. I
on
just have
board.
to see if I even have the time to do that. Like I
Yeah.
said, if I'm gonna do something, if I want to put my energy in something, I want to do it right. I don't want to embarrass myself.
Or I mean,
Um,
I guess I mean, and I think it doesn't even have to be that often, because I mean, you're still on other people's streams often enough that you could maybe make a video sharing your specific thoughts, and then be on like a Mad Max's channel or something, or the Gray Council or something, where there's you and there's a couple other people, and you guys go on and have a conversation like that too.
yeah, that's possible.
Yeah.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Not a bad thought.
But anyway, man, I guess I'll go ahead and let you go. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. Like I said, I've just seen you there on a couple of those streams. Kind of wanted to get to know who you are a little bit better, and I don't know, just I guess
Well, I
just learn a little
appreciate the
bit more about you.
opportunity. I appreciate the conversation. I like what you do on your channel, and we'll have to do this again.
Yeah, thanks a lot for being here, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, my guy. Have a good one.
Later. There we go. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. So anyway, guys, that's Firewater Effects. I wanted to have him here on the show because I've seen him on some of the streams. Don't really know who he is or anything like that. So I was like, hey, let's get to know this guy a little bit more. So let me know what you guys thought about that. About Firewater Effects. Like I said, seems like an all right guy. And what I was saying is, it seems like I realize there's a lot of people that follow me that are part of the Fandom Menace, and there's ones that aren't, and there's ones that just for me the most part, like, don't really care. You know what I mean? But you guys know that I'm I don't really, I think it's a little bit weird out there fighting the fandoms and all that stuff. But Firewater Effects, I've seen him on some different streams. Seems like an all right guy, and what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Like I said, I didn't really know who he was. Wanted to learn a little bit more about him, and I realized like he's a little bit outspoken there against certain people and things like that. But like I think all the people that he's talking about too are outspoken as well. So I mean, is it a fight fire with fire kind of thing? I don't know. Maybe so. I mean, is that the way? Is that the way you do it though? Either. I mean, you fight fire with fire. I don't know. I mean, it looks like that's what he wants to do. And hey, I guess there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the thing is if you're willing to come together to have a conversation with somebody else, I mean, that's the most important thing. And sometimes I think it's maybe in the what we're saying and the way we go about doing things. And a lot of times I think that sometimes we go out there and we misrepresent ourselves. You know what I mean? Like you're out there so involved in what you're saying and what you're doing. Maybe in the moment where you come off wrong to somebody, or maybe just the whole time you don't get feedback from somebody else, or you just don't want to hear it or anything like that. You know what I mean? And I think that's what goes on is people just hear something they don't like and they just want to shut it out and just ignore it. You know. But anyway, I like I said, I thought he was an interesting person, so I wanted to bring him here onto the channel. Learn a little bit more about Firewater Effects. And like I said, you guys know me, like policing fandoms, like that's just like some weird shit to me. I don't think he's trying to police any fandoms, but it seems like he's just trying to keep people aware of make people aware of exactly what's going on around them. And hey, man, people do that a lot. That's what YouTube and Twitter and all that stuff is for, man. I don't know. He seemed like an alright guy though. And guys, next week we're gonna have an even more controversial person on. Dun dun dun. Who could that be? Ooh, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that was a pretty interesting conversation. Kind of get to know Fire Water Effects a little bit. Like I said, seen him on stream. Seems like an all right guy. But again, you guys know like me, I don't know. I think the whole fighting and fandom stuff. It's like, oh man, can't we just enjoy something? You know, it's okay to like this and that. And just because somebody out there is talking trash about you specifically doesn't mean you have to fire back all the time. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you know, maybe it's okay to listen to them. Maybe it's okay, you know, because it should be okay to listen to your critics and hear what they have to say, even if you think they're a raging lunatic. You know what I mean? Because you know, it's just like even in that car commercial. Remember the old car commercial back in the days with the crash test dummies? You know, you could learn a lot from a dummy. Well, it's the same thing. You can learn a lot from your critics, and whether you take it to heart or not is completely on you. You know what I mean? You don't have to take it to heart. Hell, most of you know, if there was anybody actually out there that had some shit to say about me, I'm gonna take that shit to heart. I can give two shits about it. You know what I mean? But again, I'm not somebody that has any kind of ego about any of that kind of shit neither. I don't know. I don't know. They broke the mold with me, man. Or maybe I broke the fucking mold. You think? Anyway. Okay, so let's see who all we've got here. See, we've got Lonely Banter, we've got Kermit the Log, Vlad Riot, Wookiee Supremacy is here, Sith Lord, I see is still here. No, I've seen Fanjecture still here. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, Fanjecture, okay, we got it. Fanjecture is still here. I don't know, at least I think you are. Let's see who else we got. Marquise Roberts. Um, let's see. So aggressively relaxing was here earlier, at least. Anyway, that was a fun conversation. Like I said, guys, just wanted to talk to the guy. You know, I'm not here for all the drama and stuff, man. You know, like I was even telling him, and he even noticed about my channel, man. Like, I just want to talk about comic books and have fun. You know, I mean, talk about movies and have some fun, and that's why I think that you guys should go see if Fanjecture is still here, go check out Fanjecture's channel because next Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, he does a live stream that he's going to be doing, I believe, around 6 p.m. Eastern, I think, or Pacific Standard Time. I think it's around 6 p.m. my time. But he's going to be doing a live stream and you know he does like a lot of movie trivia and stuff like that. It's very interactive, very fun. You guys should go check out his channel. Like I think just this past Wednesday had I don't know a handful of people on there. You go in there and you lay some votes down. We did Guy Ritchie movies. Next week's gonna be Kevin Smith. Go over there and check it out. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be fun. You get to interact. You can cast your votes and talk about movies and just be nerds. And next week is gonna be Kevin Smith. So I'm gonna be pushing this all week, guys. All week long we're gonna be I'm going to be putting some posts and stuff out there about it. So Fanjecture, if you make a little thumbnail and all that stuff or get a link ready to go, we can go and start pushing that and get that stuff ready because I think it's gonna be a fun time. And I like Adam over there at Fanjecture seems like a cool dude, and I like what he's doing with his channel, man. Doing that fun interactive stuff, kind of like I think he was calling it kind of like fantasy sports kind of thing, and that's cool. I'm not really into fantasy sports though. Now I feel like an ultimate nerd. Damn it. I don't know, but you guys should definitely go check it out. It's gonna be a good time, and we're gonna be talking Kevin Smith movies. And just the other day, I did buy Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, the digital copy of it. I don't think it's out on Blu-ray yet, but I'll get it when it comes out. And like I said, I'm gonna get a copy of the Saska Sisters Rabid when it comes out as well. I've got it on digital as well because it didn't all release at the same time. But you guys should go check that out if you like horror movies. Go check out the Saska Sisters Rabid. Make sure that you check out Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. Make sure you go back if you own any of the movies. I own all of the Kevin Smith catalog except for, well, I don't own Red State and I don't own Jersey Girl. Ooh, and what was the other one? Not the other guys. Not the, oh, man, I called it the other guys earlier. What was it? Cop Out? Is that what it was? That one. I don't own Cop Out neither. Okay, so I got 3 of them I don't own. I almost feel like there's another one. That I'm missing here. But anyway, I love Kevin Smith movies. He's a great director. He's a great writer. We're going to be nerding out about that. So I'm going to brush up on some movies here over the weekend. It's been a while since I've seen some of them. You know what else is really funny? Have you guys ever watched the Clerks cartoon series? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's available. Like, yeah, I mean, I think you can buy it on digital. But I've got the DVD of all those too. The little Clerks cartoon series. It's hilarious. And I think in a couple of movies they made like some small references to that as well. Just hilarious stuff. Hilarious stuff. Um, K-Log says, Kermit the Log says, the reboot sucked so bad. Kevin Smith's daughter, way too ugly to look at for that long, and it seemed like it was a feminist reboot. Tusk, okay, yeah, that's the other one, Tusk. I think I've seen that. Well, didn't he do Red State? Isn't Red State the other one I'm thinking of? It's not Tusk, is it? But yeah, see, the thing is like Kermit the Log. I hear you, and I figured a lot of people would feel that way. Like, I think the Jay and Silent Bob reboot really only pays off if you're really invested in the series for one, and two can see the humor of some of like a lot of the like stuff that it was making fun of too. Because while like you're saying it was like a feminist reboot and all that stuff, like they were literally kind of making fun of all that at the same time. You know what I mean? And that's the tricky thing when it comes to doing comedy like that is you're playing you're trying to play both sides of the situation here, and it's gonna win for some people and it's gonna lose for others too. So yeah, I hear what you're saying. He's talking about his daughter. Why are you making fun of? Why are you talking trash about little baby Silent Bob? Come on, she was cute as baby Silent Bob, don't you think? When they were sitting there in front of the quick stop, and Jay with his little foul mouth started singing. I don't know. Reboot has over 90% audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes. I wouldn't know. I've never been to Rotten Tomatoes site. I've never looked at it, not one time ever. Seriously, I like somebody's like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like, "Yeah, no." Like I've literally never went to the Rotten Tomatoes site. I just I don't know. What's that all about? Huh. All right. I don't know what that was all about, but yeah, I've never been to Rotten Tomatoes site. I just don't do that. I mean, like I look at people's reviews and you can see reviews and stuff like that, but like most times I want to go see a movie or I don't want to go see it. That's how I feel about it. But but like me myself, I thought Reboot was good. It's just not again like it's not as good as like Clerks 2 or even Clerks. Like it's probably not. It's probably one of his worst movies, but I don't think it's bad. It's just it's a different movie. Like because I think what a lot of people want is like a just like a good comedy, just like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was and stuff like that. And a lot of times, I don't think you can really replicate those kinds of things. You know what I mean? A lot of that kinds of stuff has to happen naturally. And also, I don't think that there's a whole lot of work that Kevin Smith has ever really done that he's gone out there to purposely try to be funny. Just because it doesn't really work. And in this, he did some of that stuff not trying to be funny because the situation is all kind of funny in the first place. um, Pookie Supremacy says Tusk. Red State, I think he did too. Okay, yes. And I'm pretty sure I've seen all of those: Red State, Tusk, and I know I've seen Jersey Girl as well. Zach and Mary's a good one. Yoga Hosers, yeah, you know what? I haven't seen all of Yoga Hosers. I think I watched like the first 30 minutes of it. It was just like late at night and I fell asleep watching it. Yeah, Tusk was a good one. Reboot. Okay. It's such an awesome movie, says Wookie. Sith Lord says it would have been better without his daughter and her buds. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. Um, Vlad Riot says, at the Lonely Banter, I finally checked out that Star Wars girl, or that Star Wars girl you talked about. She's gorgeous. Which one? Which one? I don't know which. Um, Harley is a goofy looking kid. Yeah, I hear you. I could agree with that, but hey, she'll probably grow into her looks. You know what I mean? Like we all look goofy as kids at times. Maybe she'll grow into it. She'll grow into it. Oh man, my wife's home. Um, Fanjexter says, I think she was actually a baby J in that scene. No, she was Bob. She was little silent Bob. She was little silent Bob. Aggressively relaxing says, have you ever listened to Kevin Smith's Fat Man on Batman? The early shows had the most incredible interviews. I haven't seen like a lot of the older stuff, but I have watched his Fat Man on Batman's, and they're pretty good. They make me laugh. I mean, Kevin Smith is a funny dude, and he's a cool dude in the first place. So I mean, he's got a lot going for him, and he's not like trying to have some big blockbuster career or anything like that. He does what he does. He stays in his lane. He makes the movies that he knows how to make, and that's all good. I like Kevin Smith movies and stuff. He's pretty good. A lot of it's funny so much these days too. Everybody calls him a shill and all this kind of shit, and it's like he just likes stuff. Like when you see him crying about the like we didn't grow up with this shit. Me and Kevin Smith, we didn't grow up having all these great fucking movies, so he likes it. He likes it. And he's just glad to see it there. As a movie nerd and stuff like that, and even a fan of all these properties. You know what I mean? Is he going out there saying it's like the best movie ever? I mean, no, but just because he likes it doesn't make him a shill. I mean, shit, most of the movies I end up liking, but I may not like for certain reasons. It's okay. It's okay to not like stuff and like it too. take, take take for example Daredevil. Yeah, the Ben Affleck one. I like that movie. Is it a good movie? No. No, it's not really a good movie. It's okay. It's okay. He, let's see. So Wookiee Supremacy said Kevin Smith's old lady ain't bad though. Oh yeah, yeah. Jennifer Schwalbach. Yeah, yeah. She's been in she's been in several like the last handful of movies that he's done too. He did in Cop Out, but it's the only film he's done that he didn't write himself. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, and I haven't seen Cop Out. That's I've seen parts of it. I haven't seen the whole movie. Aggressively Relaxing says going to have to watch all of the Arrowverse too to be a Kevin Smith completist. All right, all right, all right. I'm not a completist though. Oh, dang it. Maybe I am. Dang it. Dang it. Last Kevin Smith movie I watched was Clerks 2, says the Lonely Banter. You know what? In Clerks 2, is fucking great. I love Clerks 2. That movie I could watch over and over. And you know what? I was never really a fan of Rosario Dawson or anything. And then like that movie came out, and I seen her in that movie, and I never really thought she was like very attractive neither. And then I seen her in that movie, I'm like, damn, Kevin Smith did a good job making her look attractive and everything in this movie, and just she seemed very lighthearted and like she was enjoyable. And like, hey, I became a fan at that point. I did. I became a Rosario Dawson fan at that point. All because of Kevin Smith. Fanj Extra says, but then you'd have to watch Supergirl, which sounds torturous. Oh, yeah. Sith Lord says she's already grown though. Oh yeah, well I mean but like she could grow more into. I mean look at what's her name, Renee Zellweger. Remember how she used to look, and then she went about you fast forward a decade, and she looked like a lot different. Remember you seen her? I can't remember what movie it was. She finally came back in, and everybody's like, what the that's Renee Zellweger. And then I seen that other one that just came out recently. God, what was it called? Judy. And I seen her in that. I'm like, yeah, she looks a little more like herself in this one. She looks a little more like herself. But it's Vlad Rest says Second Street Marvel. Oh shit, don't remember her name. Brunette, tiny, pretty, Anna. Oh yeah, Anna. Thank you, Sith. Oh, are you talking about? Okay, you talking about that Star Wars girl, Anna? Okay, yeah. Um, it says he says that face. My wife's home. Yeah. Trinity wrapping up momentarily. Well, I'm going to because I want to get out early and get a bike ride in and all those kinds of things. So I'll probably end it here pretty soon. We still got a few minutes left. I'm gonna go eat my salad and everything. But yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna get out and get a good bike ride in the morning. But also tomorrow, like I was saying earlier, guys, or man, because that video didn't render. Look out for that video. It's going to come on. But tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I believe that would be 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be doing a comic book stream with Dylan's Comic Book Rants and Chris from Chaos and Comics. We're going to come together. We're going to talk about some comic books. We're going to probably talk about the 2 Dawn of X titles that came out this week, and then probably talk about some other comic books, and we're just going to nerd out on some comic stuff. And then after that, I believe at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to be going over to General Zod's channel. Going to be on General Zod, and we're going to sit there and talk about some stuff. I'm not exactly for sure what, but we're going to talk. I've seen plenty of his shows where he gets people on there and just talk about nerdy shit. And that's what we're going to do over on General Zod's channel tomorrow. And then on Sunday, I don't know. We'll see if we get something going on Sunday. Because I don't know. I've been meaning to reach out to to reach out to Mad Max to ask him if we're doing the War Council on Sunday or not. So I don't know. Been doing that on Sundays. Kind of been rotating the different channels and everything out there for doing the War Council. But I don't know. I guess we'll see if we're going to do that this Sunday as well. But anyway, guys, I think that is going to do it for tonight, guys. Like I said, I thought it was a pretty good night. Again, I apologize about the beginning of the show. It's just been, tonight's been just a whole wreck, hasn't it? It's just been like, man, the plane hit the mountain tonight. I had doing stuff with the OBS and the StreamYards, and then my video didn't render and everything in time. It's just been a rough night. It's been a rough week, guys. I don't know what to say. You know what? And I actually had to go to the DMV just the other day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not sure if you guys, how many of you live in California, or I'm sure, fuck, the DMV is probably the same everywhere. But man, like, it's so great. It's so convenient. You can book an appointment now. You can get online. You can get an appointment and go in. So, you're not going to sit there and just get on the number thing and sit there and wait all day for them to call your number. But you know what? I still sat there and waited for an hour, even with a goddamn fucking appointment. Still sat there and waited for an hour just to get my real ID. Gotta have a real ID if you want to get on an airplane. If you want to travel, you gotta have a real ID. You gotta take a proof of who you are. As if your license and your social security card don't do that. You know what I mean? I don't get it. It's stupid. The government knows who I am. The government knows who you are. Well, we got this real ID shit. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? To get on an airplane, you're gonna need this kind of stuff? Man, that's kind of frustrating. But yeah, so anyway, guys, let's see what's everybody saying here. Says you're challenging wank workstation. Oh no, what I miss? Yeah, but she got mad work done to her face. Oh, did she? Did she actually get some work done? I don't know. I'm not really for sure. Maybe she did. Because it really just looked like she lost a lot of the baby fat in her face. Really, you know what I mean? And I don't know. I think that's what I thought anyway. I could be wrong there. Aggressively relaxing says, "Yeah, I don't know what Wookie. I don't know what Wookie said, but I'm oddly inclined to agree with him." Oh no. What did he say? What'd I say? Supergirl is a challenging wank. What? Oh man, I missed something here. Ice cream together in one episode. Oh man, you guys are cracking me up. Um, let's see. Eric Reesby says the real ID is a money scam. Well, I don't know. I think it costs just as much as renewing my license did anyway. It costs just the same as, and I just had to renew my license anyway. Like, I had to renew my license anyway, so I went ahead and did that. But I think it was like the same price. I think it was the same price for the real ID or my regular ID. So I went ahead and did it. Finjecture says, I feel, or we all just need Apple ID already. Yes. Hey, I've got my Apple ID. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that works, doesn't it? Wookiee Supremacy says, I'd buy brunch of X. Oh no, what I miss? What? Oh, after the dawn of X comes the brunch of X. Okay, yeah, the brunch. Yeah, believe me, and that's funny too. That's something was talking about your boy Zach earlier. I'm not sure if you guys watch your boy Zach, dude, but his videos are fucking hilarious. He cracks me up in his videos because he's talking about comic books and he kind of breaks them all down. Sometimes he breaks them down and he just does reviews on them, but he's always laughing and he always reviews them with like these funny stories that like I don't know. He makes me laugh. He makes me laugh, but that's one of the things he talks about in some of the comic books. I'm like, dude, there is a lot of modern comic books like that where you see like the people walking down the street and they're going to lunch and they're going to get coffee and all this kinds of shit, and it's like, but is this a superhero comic book or is this fucking like what is this? What is this? What does Jessica Jones going to the park with Luke Cage and her daughter and him going to teach some kids about basketball have to do with her getting her ass kicked and getting abducted in a comic book? I don't know. Just some of the silly stuff. But anyway, guys, let's see. Tom's comic book reviews just got here. Sith Lord says, eat all kinds of stuff after you smoke. Yeah, man. If you got them munchies, might as well take care of them. Vlad Riot says, what does a Wookiee eat when it is drunk? Wookiee's like, huh? Vlad Rice says humans usually eat meat when drunk. What do Wookiees eat? Oh, he says, oh, I was waiting for the punchline. That's funny. Jalapeno poppers, he says. Oh, yeah, and who doesn't love jalapeno poppers? You know what I've done at home is I make the jalapeno poppers. I take the cheddar cheese myself. I cut the jalapeno in half myself. And then I take and I just wrap it with bacon because, hashtag that keto life, you know what I'm saying? And you wrap the jalapeno popper in bacon instead of frying it with the breading and stuff. And I just stay and I do that and I just cook them on the grill. It's the best, man. That sounds good. That sounds good. Ooh, speaking of which, we got some chicken wings. Gonna make some hot wings probably either tomorrow or Sunday. I grill my own hot wings. I do them all kind of like Wingstop style, but I grill my shit, man. I put them over the charcoals and then I just sit there and grill them and then toss them in some sauce and damn, they're so good. Even my kids love the chicken wings. Got some steaks all ready to go. They're marinating. Maybe I'll make the steaks tomorrow since they're marinating right now. Marinate them overnight, cook some steaks. Maybe we'll save the chicken wings for Sunday, man. I don't know, man. Love it. Love it. See, that's a good thing, like when it comes to, like when you're dieting and stuff and, you're doing that, if you do the ketogenic diet, you got to have that kind of stuff. Like I can have chicken wings, I can have steak, but then the other thing I just have is a big salad, which is what I'm getting ready to go eat in just a few minutes. Got this big salad. I just posted it on my. That's what I when I got monetized. That's what I wanted more than anything was to get that community tab so I could share pictures with you guys. So I could share pictures with you guys of my lunch, just like we used to do pre-2016. Remember back in 2014, 2015, before the meme wars, before the election, when we used to post pictures of our food? Well, that's what I wanted that community tab for, was so I could share pictures of my food again and live it up like it was 2014. So you guys should go check out my community tab. I shared a picture of my salad that I eat a salad like that every day, just all kinds of just great goodness. But also, guys, the one thing I've been saying is that I've got a Patreon. I've got a Patreon that I've got set up here and everything. I think you guys should definitely go check it out. Let me see if I can get this thing to show up here. I think you guys should go check it out. The Patreon. There's links down in the description because what I'm gonna do is something I knew that I'm gonna be doing for my Patreon supporters is I'm gonna start doing some vlogs over there and see how they like them, see how they do. Just kind of like talking about some of the other stuff that I do throughout my day because guys, I've been putting in some work. I've been getting back on my bike more, getting my workout schedule and everything back in line. Just here towards the last part of last year, as I was trying to build the channel, as I was sitting there thinking like, ooh, you know what? I know that I can build a channel. I know I can get to the monetization and all that stuff. I know I can if I just make this push. So the last half of the year, I kind of started slacking a little bit, but I'm getting things back in line. I just went through actually earlier today and I made up my schedule. And that's one of the things I want to put over there for some of those people so they can see some of that. And maybe we'll see how they do over there and maybe I'll share some of those things here with you guys. Because there's something important, that I feel that we all, maybe we don't know where to start. Maybe you know what resources there are out there when you need help in those kinds of things. If you want to get fit, if you want to increase your fitness, you want to increase your longevity, if you want to feel better, and on all these kinds of things. One thing I always want people to do is be successful in their life. Because if you're successful, that helps me out. That helps everybody else around you out. That helps our environment out if we're successful. And that's something that I want to help you guys do, And I've talked about this before. And I want to help you guys. If there's anything like that, if you guys have any ideas of stuff that you would like me to do, videos you'd like to see here on the channel, like I did some a while back called Superhero Life Tips, and I'm going to bring some of those back. But the thing is like when you do these things, like when you're going into these kinds of things, like you gotta be ready. You gotta have a plan. You know what I mean? You gotta have a plan, and you gotta set yourself goals, and you can't go out there and like you don't like. It's good to immerse yourself into something and really get into it, but you still gotta have a plan. I mean, you don't just go into the gym and just start lifting weights. You don't just get on a bicycle and just start riding. Although it is just that easy, it really is. But the thing is if you want to get results, you got to have a plan, and that comes with being informed and knowing what you can and can't do, what works for you, what don't work for you. You got to try a lot of different things. Since I don't know the early 2000s, I've been involved in a lot of these kinds of things. Learning about health, learning about fitness, learning about like the supplement industry, all these different kinds of things. I take supplements regularly, pretty much every day. I take nutritional supplements, but these are things that I'm into, and I'm gonna probably start documenting some of that. But just like before I sat here and sat down and did the show this morning, probably why I was messing up towards the beginning of the show, why I didn't get some of the stuff done for you guys tonight, was because I was actually getting my training plan ready for the year, and here over this next year, because that's something that you got to do. Something like think about like your computer. You know what I mean? You got to start a routine. You like your computer. It's got programs, certain programs that it runs every day. Every time that you boot it up, it has these programs that boot it up, and that it has to run in order for you to get on the internet. In order for you to do even the simplest of things, your phone. Same thing. It has an operating system, and that's the same thing you should be doing with your body every day. Is putting it through its training, putting it through its system, putting it through its processes. To get so I mean, because your body is a machine, man. It's the best machine in the world, and you gotta take care of it. You gotta feed it the right foods. You gotta give it the right amount of exercise. You gotta give it all these great things, and it helps improve your quality of life, and improving your quality of life helps improve others around you. You know what I mean? Like we see all this stuff on all these Twitters and all this Facebook and this Instagram and all this different crap out there. You know what I mean? You know how you help get out of that? Is go out and get a good workout in. Go out to the garage if you've got some weights like I do. That's where I work out, is in my garage. I don't spend money on gym memberships. Go out and lift some weights. You don't even need weights, especially if you're just starting out. Start with just your own body weight. And even if you do have weights, go out there and start slow. And that's the thing, is a lot of people, how dudes, they be walking in the gym like, shit, man, I'm a buff motherfucker. Shit, I can lift these fucking 25 pounders. I can do these curls. Yeah, but bro, if it's your first time lifting in fucking 10 years, maybe you should start a little bit slower, because one thing you're going to get is delayed onset muscle soreness. You're going to get those DOMs, and you know what? You can avoid those by just being active a little bit, working your way into a program. They say it takes 21 days to build a habit, to start a habit. Start with 21 days. Just do something consistently for 21 days. It's all you got to do. You know what I mean? Just start there, and you just kind of build on it, and you build on it. And you know what? You start with one thing at a time, and you go, and you build it up every single day. That's what you got to do. You got to have a plan. You know what I mean? You don't want to overdo it either. Don't set yourself unrealistic goals. You know what I mean? And I want to do some videos talking about these kinds of things. And I've thought about, should I do it on a different channel? I thought, you know what? Maybe I'll start doing that with some of my Patreon things, and show them what I'm doing in my life to get back on track and get things sorted back up. And it's not a New Year's resolution or anything like that. It's just me getting my shit back on track, because I made a push towards the end of the last year, kind of fell off with a lot of it, so I could make that push and get monetized on the channel and everything. And you know what? Awesome people like you helped make that possible, and I'm doing it. I want to help share any of the knowledge that I have out there to you guys, and I'm going to start it on my Patreon, and eventually some of that stuff will trickle here onto the channel. Like I said, you can go check out my playlist, superhero life tips. I've done a couple of those. I'm probably going to do more of those, but it's going to be more regular over there. I'll release some of them over here. It's not all behind a paywall and all that shit, but I'm going to do something like that. But if you guys want any advice or anything like that, you want resources, let me know. I'm more than happy to help with that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff I like. Plus, I don't know. I'm kind of into that shit, and I like talking about it too, just as much as I like talking about comic books and movies and music and things like that. And speaking of, I need to talk about music more too, don't I? I'm not really. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not into popular music. I'm a metalhead. I like metal music. But anyway, guys, I mean that's stuff that's important to me, is health and things like that, and I'm willing to help you guys with that. And if you guys want to see that, I'm going to start documenting some of that, because I got like all kinds of cameras and stuff to strap to my bike, to my ass, to my helmet, to wherever I want to strap it to. I can put it, dang it. So I can document some of that for you guys, because I think that I would like to share some of that stuff, so you guys can see that. But also because I think there's something that's very important in seeing other people succeed, seeing people do stuff, that having success. It helps us all in some sort of way, whether you want to admit it or not, or whether you see it or whether you realize it could be a totally different thing. But seeing people go through the processes, and I think that's something important, where people see like, oh, okay, like this person knows what he's talking about, and a lot of that starts with the training plan too. You know what I mean? So I've been doing a lot of this stuff for a lot of years. So I just sat down, I got my training plan ready today. Gonna get to that plan. Gonna start it. I think what I'm starting out over these next couple of weeks is gonna be 10 hours a week of training, and then after that it's going to bump into like 12 and a half, 13 and a half, 15 hours a week. I think it's going to max out somewhere about 18 hours a week, maybe 17 hours a week that I'm going to be putting in on my bike rides. And that's when I'm getting deep into my cycling and stuff like that. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm really big into a lot of that kinds of stuff. And like I said, I know what it takes. Like there's still general things out there I could help you with. I mean, but to help, especially to help you get started. You know what I mean? Where it really matters is getting out there. When you got to start making the tweaks, like I've got to make at this point, is making those fine tuning everything to get to nail down the exact results that you want. And that comes with a lot of years of just kind of getting to know your body and things like that. But a lot of it is really simple stuff that you can do to get started. You know what I mean? And if you guys want any help with that kind of stuff, let me know, man. I'm into that kind of stuff. But it still always takes a program. Like I still like one of the programs I do is like the P90X and all that stuff when I do strength training workouts, because I don't need to get super buff or anything like that. And you could do all that kind of stuff. Like I put on decent amounts of muscle and stuff doing P90X, but for me, what I do is I do the program P90X2, and it's really great for athletes because it's strength training, but it also trains a lot of your core muscles and everything as well, which is stuff that's really integral for like cyclists and runners and all that kind of stuff. Core strength is very important. So that's one thing I like about it. But obviously, the programs like that prove one thing, that you just need a program. You need somebody out there to tell you what to do day in and day out. And it starts with little stuff. And it starts with being out and getting and doing things regular. So, like I said, I don't know. I feel like I've gone on a little too much about that. Sith Lord says, I used to jump fences in short distance running. Not even gonna ask. Not even gonna ask. Lonely Band says, I want to bench press cookies. Becky Browan says, getting close to my goal. Awesome. Thank you. And thank you for being here, Becky. Aggressively Relaxed says, hey, Dog School, my alma mater. Oh, and thank you so much for being here, Dog School. Hope you're having a great evening. Um, let's see. Aggressively Relaxing says, says, superheroes doing everyday life is my jam. The Ace Hardware in the Marvel Universe has a magical ingredients section. That's funny. You're funny. Um, let's see. Barbecue at Trinity's. Yeah, man, I'm gonna be barbecuing. Fanjextra says, "Do you forage while you bike? Road to table. What do you?" Oh, do I go hunting and stuff? No, I don't. I'm a roadie. So I'm out on the highways and that stuff. I'm that guy that gets in your way while you're trying to commute to work down in L.A. Well, I don't live down in L.A. I'm actually north of L.A. But yeah, that's funny. Drawn Together was a great series. Look it up if you don't know what it is. Drawn Together. That sounds very familiar. Tom's Comic Book says, "Did you see my last comment?" Oh no, what did I see? Oh, I'm coming over. Okay. Yes. It's gonna be good. Because anything you cook over charcoals is just great stuff. Um, let's see. Getting caught up here with the live chats. Uh, Baker Rowan says, yes, you tell him. Says, Fanjextra says, I bench press my son. Yes, definitely. Becky Brown says, close to getting to my goal. Awesome. That's very good. She said, Becky Brown says, I used to weigh 370 pounds. I am now 205. Dang, that's nice. That's good. That's a good deal. And that's something I'm into. And that's kind of why I wanted to do some of that stuff on my channel as well. And maybe I'll reach out to you, Becky, and we can do something like that. And maybe do a collaboration. You can, I don't know, maybe share your story. Because I think that's something that I like seeing, and something that I think applies to, superheroes in real life in the first place. And that's why I started that playlist that I've got. Superhero life tips is, like, I like real life inspirations. I like seeing people's journeys. I like seeing journeys and things like that that people go through. For different things. You remember like that show Biggest Loser and all that stuff. I liked watching that stuff because I like watching people's journeys. Just I don't know, something that's interesting to me, I guess. So I like watching stuff like that. So I want to share some of that stuff, and I'm gonna like I said, I'm gonna start with that with some of my patrons. Let's see. Fanjextra says he's only 30 pounds, so it's more for fun than anything else. Hey, it's still staying active and moving. Okay, it works. Um, Superhero review says Rookie Supremacy badass. Oh, Wookiee Supremacy badass. Superhero reviews. Check out this dude. Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Let's see. Wookie autocorrect. Okay, yeah, autocorrect. Cardio is some of the best. Thanks. Yeah, and the thing is, like, it's so tricky when it comes to stuff, and that's why, like, it really takes a mix of everything when you're wanting to do stuff. Like, it depends on what your goals are, but yeah, cardio is definitely good because the thing is, like, when you get your heart working, and that's why I like cycling, because I mean it really only works your legs and your heart, but like getting your heart working, like once your blood starts pumping, for one, it warms you up. But I mean, like it's like the network of like the veins and blood vessels and all the capillaries and all the things. Like, man, our bodies are very complicated machines, and they're very awesome. They're very awesome. There's a lot of things I could go on about that kind of stuff. I better not even try to get into that right now. I could go into it, but yes, cardio is good. I love cardio, and that's the thing is like I'm a cyclist, so I'm used to going out on like 3 hour, 4 hour bike rides and stuff like that. Is fun. I like getting out. I mean, and a lot of people think like, oh, that sounds like it's painful. Well, it's not that bad. Cause here, let me show you. I'll show you. I'll show you what you got here. Is you get like you get some of these garments. Where are they at here? You get these garments, like, okay, like, see, I got my jersey right here, for one of the local bike shops, but you got these garments. It makes it not so bad. Plus, when you're on your bicycle for that long, like my road bicycle, it's got a seat that's got like gel pad on it. It's like not like really super soft. It's still kind of hard, but you get better equipment made for that stuff. But then you have like these things right here. You have your biker shorts in there, and they got the chamois in there, right? And don't worry, it's not all dirty with dookie marks or anything on it, guys. But see, it's got this padding in there. It's got the chamois, and what that does is it helps keep you from chafing and all these different kinds of things, and it helps keep your blood vessels and things down there, from being all smashed and jacking yourself up and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, I mean, there's stuff like technology kind of stuff for people like back in the day. They used to use like leather. That read some old stories of the old Tour de France's where they used like people use like slabs of beef and different stuff to put. And hey man, you do what you got to do, man. I don't do that. I just use the shorts with the chamois in it. But yeah, I mean a lot of that stuff. I mean, yeah, like I said, I like going riding. That's my cardio. Aggressively relaxing says the kid is growing. So you are working a program that ramps up. Definitely, definitely. If you keep bench pressing that kid, once by the time he's 40 years old, man, you're gonna be strong. Um, Fanjextra says we need a Trinity workout series, second 90x. I've actually thought about that too. I've actually thought about doing some videos like that too. Maybe I could. I don't know, man. I've actually thought about doing just different stuff like that. Probably not on this channel. I'd probably do it on my other channel, my Peddling Pugilist channel, or maybe even my Peanut Peddler channel. I don't know. I've got a couple channels here on YouTube. Um, Becky Brown says, I need someone who is like a drill sergeant, yell and scream at me, kind of mix of a sergeant and football trainer. Okay, see, like Becky, you'd probably like I said, I do like P90X, I've done Insanity and stuff like that. Like me, I don't need that. Like if somebody was there doing that, it would probably help. I've thought about it would be great to have a cycling coach. So when I go out there, because I want to build back up and go out and do some racing again next year. Went out and done some racing. Upgraded from a Cat 5 to a Cat 4 a couple of years ago. Really fun. But then 2 years ago, I crashed while I was out bike riding and broke my collarbone. And that was pretty crazy. And I've thought about doing videos about that stuff too. I've talked about it here on the channel before. But yeah, like we were out in Green Valley, which from where I live at, we were probably out about 15 to 16 miles from where I live at. But my wife was down to Six Flags, and what we did, me and my friends, we rode down to like 30. I don't know. I think it was about 35 miles down to Santa Clarita, and then we were riding back through the canyons. Some of my friends, they ended up coming straight home. the same way we came down. And then me and one of my friends, we ended up taking a detour. We went on a detour to get a few more miles in. A road we rode 100 times. It was kind of windy that day. There was sand on the road, and my front wheel washed out from underneath me while I was doing about, I don't know, about 25 miles an hour coming out of this corner, and my wheel washed out, and I broke my collarbone. We were there in the middle of nowhere. My wife, he rode down to down into the Green Valley and called my wife, and she came and picked us up from. They were down to Six Flags. But I was there. We're in the middle of nowhere. I didn't even call the ambulance or anything. We went into the thing, but my collarbone was all broken. The bone was poking out, and like I walked down the mountain. I started walking there into town. Like it wasn't that bad. You know what I mean? I walked around for 2 days with my shit all broke, and it kind of hurt. But I don't know. I think I have a high tolerance for pain because even post surgery, even after surgery, like not that night after surgery, but the following night. I only took I think 3 pills, 3 of the pain pills to just get to sleep through the night, to be able to get comfortable and sleep through the night. That was really about it. After that, I didn't take any of the pills or anything because I don't like popping pills or any of that stuff. It just makes me feel weird. I don't like it. And plus, I don't like. I just don't like all the painkillers and all that stuff in the first place. But also, the pain wasn't that bad. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but. I don't know, it's one of those kinds of things too. I always kind of feel like maybe I should have, maybe when I was younger, I should have went into more of the stuff, to be in more of the sports. But like I grew up in the Midwest, so I wasn't, there was no cycling in the Midwest. There was no like speed skating like I wanted to do in the Midwest. You know what I mean? At least when I was a kid in the Midwest, that's how I always felt about stuff. But yeah, like, cause like I found like I recover good. I got a high tolerance for pain. I got a high tolerance like on the bike, just all that kinds of stuff, man. Like, you know what I mean? Cause like not everybody's designed to go out and do certain things. Like we got certain things that our bodies are more inclined and uh, g- geared towards doing. And most of the stuff I've set out and done, I'm really good at. But you know what? Skateboarding, I'm not good at it. I'm not good at skateboarding. I got great balance. If it put me on some roller skates, some roller blades, some ice skates, and all that stuff, I got great balance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, just all kinds of stuff. Like, but like I played football when I was in high school and all that kinds of stuff too. In middle school a little bit, just like I don't know, it just wasn't my thing. I liked watching it, but I don't know. Just where I was growing up at, there wasn't all the there wasn't all those sports programs when I was going out there. Um, let's see. Aggressively relaxing says YouTube channel called Buff Dudes has great comic book workouts, right? um, let's see. Lonely Banter says I need apple juice. Uh, Great work, Becky. Yeah, that is awesome work too, Becky. Becky says absolutely. I can share a picture of me from when I was 16. Nice. All right. Yeah, certainly. Yeah, like I said, I like seeing people's journeys. I like those kinds of things. Wookiee Supremacy says I don't respond to being yelled at all. See, and that's the thing. Like I'm the same way. Wookiee Supremacy. I'm the same way. Like you don't have to yell at me. You don't have to yell at me. You don't have to be a drill sergeant. But if I had somebody there, and they don't have to be like super encouraging, like, oh, come on, you can do it. But if I had somebody there, if I did have a coach, like I wouldn't mind having a coach there being like, okay, hold it for 10 more seconds, 10, 9, no, don't give out. Like somebody to help push a little bit. I don't need somebody yelling at me, but somebody to help motivate me, definitely. And that's sometimes I know that comes with like some people have workout friends and workout buddies that they go and do that with and that they're good at doing that with. But sometimes like what because like when we go bike riding, we got a group of guys. Like everybody's kind of at different fitness levels, but at some point, everybody like when you're riding around each other that much, you get better. You make improvements. Because like even one of the guys we ride with, his wife used to come out with us when we were doing the morning road rides, the weekday worlds. And I'm telling you, like this is a group of like you usually get like 10 to 12 like dudes who are fast. I'm telling you, they're fucking fast. Like a lot of like we break a lot of dudes, man. Like people don't last. But like his wife would go out with us, and for the like first little while she would kept falling off the back, and we'd eventually lose her by the time we got to 90th Street West. The next thing you know, she was holding with us until 110th Street West. The next thing you know, she was making it with us a little bit farther, and then I mean telling you by the end of that summer, she was hanging with us almost the whole fucking time throughout that. And like is she as but I mean, she rode a lot too, but her fitness wasn't there. But you get around a lot of the kind of people, and you start training with each other, and it kind of, it becomes a pack thing. You just your capacity just increases. So like so that's good to get with people who are better than you in those senses. But I also need a coach for when I get back that good. I think it would be great to have a coach there to help push me through those last little bits to be like, okay, like, but again, that comes with a coach that, where you got to go in and do this testing. They do all kinds of crazy testing too, where they go out, they got to find out your body fat percentage. They got to find out. They hook you up to machines, these breathing machines, to see how much oxygen that you take in, how much your white blood cells and all this bull. I mean, dude, I'm telling you, they test you for fucking everything. And I want to go take some of that testing because it really teaches you what you should be eating, when you need to be eating it, how often you need to be eating it, what your thresholds are for this and that, and then find out that testing, and then get a coach that can be there riding with me sometimes, being in my ear, just like, I don't know, I guess like the professionals do, sitting there kind of pushing you that little bit more, saying, no, hold it, right, and just keeping you in those zones and stuff like that. But definitely, I'm not for people yelling at me neither. Like, I don't do that stuff. Like, even when I used to be at work and stuff like that, like, I couldn't take. It's not that I can't take people yelling at me, but if you're yelling at me, it better be appropriate in an appropriate place. Like when I used to work, at my old job, when I was in that leadership position, I used to yell at motherfuckers all the time. But I didn't do it in a way that I was being an asshole to them. It was just, just yelling. So, but I completely know what you said. I'm not really down with the whole being yelled at stuff neither. Um, she says, "Oh, I do, and it gives me motivation, Mookie, and that's cool too. Like I said, it works for somebody. It really, and that's the thing about finding a trainer that works for you, because there's really all depending on what you need, and you can usually try different trainers and things like that." Wookie Supremacist says, "Very on PC to be yelling at women these days." Oh, that's funny. Becky Browan says, "Yes, no matter how much cushion you have on your behind, the seat is one of the best for bikes." Yeah, definitely. Fanjextra says, "Waits for slabs of beef in your shorts is frowned upon." Yes, slabs of beef in your, yeah, it's definitely frowned upon. Definitely frowned upon. Jack JW Productions, how are you doing? Thank you so much for being here. I'll pass on a workout video. Yeah, I wouldn't do a proper workout video. Becky Brown says, "I played football in high school and was I played football in high school and was the only girl on the guys team." Nice. I had a friend who played some football. I think in middle school as well. She was on the football team. Lonely Banter says, "Yeah, I'm not trying to watch men work out." Yeah, it wouldn't be like a proper workout video. Not like, yeah, it wouldn't be like that. It would be different. Um, Becky Brown says, "I'm going to California in July." Nice, nice, perfect. Ooh, hot time of year. That's not the hottest time of the year. Like you want it hot. You got to get here like August and September, man. Like that's the worst. I was a nose tackle. Nice. Yeah, I was gonna say I played tackle as well. Um, Broke both my elbows and it didn't hurt. Yeah, you know what? Like, the funny thing is, like, when I broke my collarbone, the funny thing is, like, like once the bone breaks, it's like it's how you broke the bone that hurts. Because the bone breaking, like, your bone don't have feeling, so you don't feel that. You know what I mean? It don't have feeling, so you don't feel that. I think a lot of people may not understand if they've never broken a bone, and I certainly never had to that point, so I never knew what it felt like. But when it happened, I was like, oh, it hurts, but like it wasn't that bad. It wasn't unbearable. It wasn't unbearable. Um, Good God, stay out of California. At the very least, watch your step, Becky. Yeah, it's not that. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Well, at least not where I live, anyway. Um, Becky Bro says, "What do you like surfing?" I've never tried surfing, and plus, like, you probably won't see me surfing because I don't go in the ocean. I won't go in the ocean. I'm not into that. Um, the sidewalks paved and shit. Yeah, that's not where I live at. Not where I live at. I'm not in L.A. I am in LA County though. I am in LA County. Becky Brown says, "Motivation is something I need, and all I think of is just spending my birthday on Huntington Beach." Yeah, motivation. I mean, we all need to be motivated by something. I'm pretty much self motivated by a lot, but some of the things that motivate me are things just like I was saying, like people that inspire me. When I see somebody that's inspiring, sometimes when I'm thinking about, like I said, even hearing people's journeys and stuff like that, weight loss journeys and stuff like that, I'm into that, and it's inspiring to me to see a lot of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like it inspires me to see regular people doing cool shit. You know what I mean? That's ultimately what it is. And it's so funny too, because like a lot of the guys that I ride bikes with, I mean, they're super fast. They're fucking super tough as nails. But of course, you never tell anybody that, especially on a bike. Especially when you're cyclists, but you never say like, dude, like, man, this motherfucker, yeah, he's a challenge, man. Keep like, no. You don't do that. You don't do that. You don't tell somebody they're good. You don't give them props and no shit like that. No, you don't fucking do none of that. You don't do none of that. You're the best. You know what I mean? Or I'm the best. Or you know what I mean? Like it's a complete like testosterone thing. But you know what? Like a lot of the dudes I ride with, they're real motherfucker. Like one of the guys I ride with, he's one of the most fit dudes I fucking ride with. Dude's probably he's gotta be. I'm guessing he's probably in his 50s. My chiropractor, a guy I ride with, he's a great guy. But dude, he's like the fittest fucking guy I know, dude. Like he's super fit and he looks young too, because I'm pretty sure he's in his 50s and he looks young too. But he's fit as fuck. But like he rides bikes. He does strength training. He's got his family. He runs a business. He got an MLM business. He's got so much shit he does. It's like god damn, man. Like damn, man, that's inspiring to me to see people out there that do that shit. And sometimes I think about that shit myself too. I'm like, man, I guess I kind of do a lot of shit. I mean, I run my own business. I got my kids. I go out and I ride bikes. I lift weights. I do all kinds of other shit too. I even do participate in some other businesses and things like that as well. And then I started taking on YouTube content creation and shit. That's like, damn, I guess I really do a lot too. You know what I mean? As, you know, some people don't. Some people don't do shit. I'm seriously, some people don't. Some people don't. But yeah, I've never been surfing. Oh yeah, definitely watch your step. Becky Bruin says, "Oh okay, I seen that one." Yeah, be safe, Becky. Biden Test says, "I'm back." Becky Bruin says, "Thanks. I will be my brother. All right, be with your brother. I truly hope you have a great birthday, Becky. Your destination isn't one I would choose, but I hope you have a great day." You know, I don't think I've been to Huntington Beach. I've definitely been down to. Oh man, where is it? The Queen Mary is at down in. Man, I can't remember. I can't remember all of a sudden. But I've been there. That was pretty nice. Went down to San Diego. That was all right. Touchy's back. Hey, buddy. Becky Brown says, in 2015, I went to California to see the Browns versus Chargers, and I fell in love with the ocean, and I live in Ohio. Nice. Yeah, the ocean's okay. I'm not going in that shit though, but nah, like I've been to Chicago, seen the Bears play the Vikings, seen the Bears play the Lions. The only team I didn't see the Bears play was the Packers, and when I was, you know, like all my friends seem to be Packers fans, I always wanted to go see the Bears play the Packers in Lambeau. Yeah, that's right. I'm willing to go see them play in Lambeau. Give me 30 push-ups, maggot. Get LB to do a motivational tape you can listen to. Bruh, what is this foolishness? Dude, that would, you know what? That would actually work. I think that would actually work. I think I could actually see LB being a coach, being out there like, bruh, come on, don't give me your excuses. I could see him doing that. That would be great. That would be great. Like he'd be like one of those great coaches, like for The Biggest Loser or something like that. Totally, totally. I could see him being better than Jillian. I could see him being better than Jillian. I think so. And Gwyneth Paltrow can. Oh man, let's not get into Gwyneth Paltrow candles. I'm not stinking up my house like that. Oh man, Gwyneth probably smells like the world's purest spring water. Yes, Gwyneth does probably smell like the world's purest spring water. How dare you think otherwise? All right, guys. That's all. That's what I'm gonna do for the night. Like I said, I'm gonna get that video rendered up that was supposed to be the intro video for tonight. I'll upload it here on the channel. Make sure you guys check it out tomorrow. We're gonna be getting together with Chris from Chaos and Comics and Dylan from Dylan's Comic Book Rants. We're gonna get nerd out. We're gonna talk about some comic books. Then you're gonna be on General Zod's fandom zone, or maybe it's General Zod's. I don't know what zone it is, but we're gonna be over. I'm gonna be over on General Zod's channel after that. And anyway, guys, I'm going to get out and get a good bike ride in tomorrow morning as well. But you guys all have a very good day. Have a great rest of your night. Have a safe night. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you tomorrow if you show up for the next video. Later.